everybody. It's I, Paul, and we're not here for Shadowrun. We're here for Star Trek this week, and this is all Sam's fault. Because, a week and a day ago, Sam, started a Star Trek intro on our Symborum game, and I couldn't get out of my head, so here we are with a Star Trek one-shot. For all you who know me. Before we get started, I introduce my players. We're going to do a quick dig-in list for our sponsors for the season, and talk about that real quick, and then we'll get through all the other fun things. We have Green Ronin Publishing for Blue Rose, which runs on our lovely show on this channel on Fridays. Catalyst Games, which Shadowrun, we've got 2 Shadowrun games. Usually one of them is. Next week is our last episode, unless we get our sponsor, and then we'll do a bonus episode. We have Crucible Magazine, which ran last night from one of the 5e things, which I was on real late with Sam and several others. And if you're going to check that out on the replay, it's super great. Free League for Symborum. We also have Dungeon Dice and Grinding Coffee. And after that, I think most of you all already know me because I'm around here a little too much. But I'm going to go ahead and give some introductions. And we're going to start with Jen in the corner to my other direction, apparently. This direction, that direction.
Hello.
All the directions.
Hi, guys. I'm Jen. I go by Savagesparrow on the internet. I am on this channel frequently. I'm in Paul's Shadowrun game. I will be playing Qianna Kadar tonight, the Betazoid translator. So I'm really excited. Star Trek is so much fun.
And I believe the highest ranking officer currently in this group of people. You're in charge, I believe.
She's command, but I think there's another lieutenant if I recall correctly. Technically yes, but
Sure.
It's all gonna be my fault if things go to hell.
Yep. You'll bear the scars of every death on your watch.
I mean, it's also going to be terrible because she's a Betazoid, so she'll feel their pain forever, and that's just going to be awful.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Yep.
So excited.
Yep. So excited. Next we have Hawkeye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hawkeye, or KyHawkeye on the interwebs here, and I am going to be playing Malachi Jabez. Both the character and myself are he, him, for those of you who need pronouns, and my character is he is a lieutenant, he is in engineering, and as you can tell, he is a joined Trill.
There you go.
He is the 4th host for Jabez.
Next we have Steven.
Hi, I'm Steve, or Steve, depending on who you ask. I will be playing Ensign 5 of 12, auxiliary processor for Unimatrix 725, a liberated Borg operating within Starfleet as a helmsman and pilot.
There we go. Next we have Singal.
Hey everybody, I'm Crimson Galaxy. I'm going to be playing Latha Chami, the Bajoran medical officer. I can't think of what else I'm supposed to say. Pronouns: she, her for Latha Chami, they, them, they, and she for me.
There we go. And last but not least, one shitty bard, apparently.
Hi, I'm Theta. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me at OneshittyBard on the internet. And I'm going to be playing Simora, a Romulan Vulcan hybrid who uses they, them pronouns and is a science officer on this ship.
There you go. Alrighty. And, as we can get in character with the captain's log, but as you can see, I am not the captain of the ship, nor am I even a member of Starfleet. I'm a Q, so let me tell you of this story inside the Continuum. We find ourselves of a planet that's only recently been surveyed within the past little bit, and didn't seem to have anything of all that importance on it until the USS Tokugawa found its way there and found a very interesting ionosphere that stopped transportation and most communications to the planet. Sending out 3 shuttlecrafts and 3 teams of Hensons and low-level officers to land on the planet, they've managed to triangulate their signals to punch through communications back and forth from the ship. The captain of this ship wishes them to survey the planet and find out if they can figure out what's causing this ionosphere and this interesting ionic radiation. And this has been going on for a few hours, but the Tokugawa gets an emergency distress signal from a nearby base that seems like it might be under some sort of attack. The Tokugawa comms down to the planet below, informing the officers that they are going to need to deal with this medical emergency immediately, and that they are to stay on planet to continue their research. There are 3 shuttlecraft down there and about 15 crew members. Tokugawa is an Intrepid class ship, which is what the Voyager was, for those of you familiar with all your Star Trek lore, and it will be heading out immediately. Not necessarily leaving these crew abandoned, because they do have shuttlecraft and could transport there, but they want to try to do 2 things at once, apparently, and make sure everything gets taken care of. This lovely away team finds themselves around their shuttle and surveying, and given the task of trying to, 1, possibly look into some of the local flora and fauna, and 2, do more research into the particular ionosphere. So that'll be their tasks starting off if you're familiar with Star Trek adventures. The flora and fauna is a minor task that will take a handful of accumulated successes to get information about. Clearly bonuses given for equipment such as tricorders. But the ionosphere research will take an extended period of time and be done over the course of most of our adventure here on this planet, if they would like to continue to do such. The area around their shuttlecraft seems to be... If you would take a coral reef out of the ocean and place it on land, and have those kind of bright fluorescent colors and those bright fluorescent fauna about, that seems to be what is about. The flora and fauna here seem to have kind of a very different hue than what you're used to on a lot of habitable planets, based upon the way the radiation from the suns is hitting through the ionosphere. And it seems to have what you would consider on Earth to be underwater type effects. So everything seems to be larger, bigger. It seems to have kind of almost a coral reef flavoring or coral reef look with very bright luminescent colors. It is probably midday-ish right now in this particular solar system, which only has a single sun, and it's not a binary planet or anything else like that. But our PCs find themselves probably around their shuttlecrafts, finishing setting up all the things they need and all their scientific equipment, and starting to get started on their tasks. So I will pass the mic over to some of them so they can start role-playing amongst themselves and figure out what tasks they want to do in what order now that the Tokugawa has just gone to warp, leaving them on this planet.
Well, Lieutenant, if you don't mind, I would like to go ahead and set up some scanners to try to see if I can detect anything directly in the ionosphere that might be causing all of this interference.
Of course. Please,
Okay,
Lieutenant, whatever you need.
let me put my scanner on so I can get a better look.
If there is any additional way that any of the rest of us can be of assistance, do please reach out. Everyone else, let's see. That was spooky. Okay, so I'm sorry, guys, because I am reading up on what one of my talents does. So if y'all want to roleplay.
It might be good to begin with trying to see what is causing the ionic radiation, or perhaps if there's any particular properties to these plants.
There would be a possibility that the type of plant matter that might here, all living creatures give off a harmonic resonance and all that. It may be something that we're not familiar with that could be interfering. I'll start there first.
Paul, have we done initial scans of like sentient life signs?
It's hard to tell, only because of the ionic radiation coming off the ionosphere. Most of the scans come back inconclusive. There have not been signs of civilization here, so it looks like if there is life here, it has not reached any point that would, show up from a planetary scan of that level. So the assumption here is there probably isn't sentient life on this particular planet.
Okay.
The whole, however, plans.
Go ahead.
I was just saying there are, however, plants which are close enough from a biological standpoint.
There are definitely plants here. I mean, the plants could be sentient. They wouldn't be the first sentient race in the history of the Federation to run across the plant of plant sentience, so that is a possibility. But yeah, there does not appear to be civilization, for lack of a better term, as they can see from orbit and what sands can penetrate the ionosphere. There just don't seem to be those signs on this planet. There even to like a Stone Age level, or at least even a hunter-gathering level. So it doesn't appear to be sentient life of that nature on the planet. But yeah.
Do you require assistance helping setting up the scanners? Or doing the initial scans?
I would take any assistance you would be willing to lend.
Okay.
Sure.
Go help.
5, do you want to also try to work with them to try to boost the scanning power to examine the ionosphere, and then maybe Officer Chami and I can try to examine some of the biology?
I will be of assistance where I can, Lieutenant.
All right.
So we have so it looks like we have our first roll, because we're going to be setting up and trying to modify the scanner to be more efficient there. 5, or are we going to just use it regularly?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Cut out a little bit.
Oh, I said, are you going to be trying to boost the efficiency of the scanner, or are we just going to try to use the scanning equipment regularly from inside the ionosphere?
I would say he will attempt to boost the power of the sensors, likely in the process using that good old what's the implants?
Sure. I'm gonna
cortical array, basically plugging himself into the shuttle sensors.
Let's do a reason engineering roll on that particular boosty effect. So it'll be our first roll of the game.
Okay, and that's a task
Well,
roll.
Can I assist him with my advisor talent? Because if I am commanding him to do a thing, then you can re-roll a d20.
Sure, I'll let that fly this early on.
Okay.
Cool.
I do also have a focus in sensor imaging. I don't know if that would help.
Sure, I'll let it. Yeah, sure. You're working on sensors. The focus in sensor imaging would apply in this particular case. That's what you're trying to boost the output for.
Okay.
What is the difficulty?
I'm going to say for him to just boost the output, it's a difficulty 1 test. It's not very hard for him using his formerly integrated parts to help more efficiently run this Starfleet technology.
Okay, so that's a task 2. It's my first time playing this game, so I'm...
So you always roll 2d20. The difficulty is a 1, so you only need to roll 1 success on those 2d20. Every other success you get after that will give you what's called momentum in this system, which is basically a stockpile of things you can use to later go back and get more dice for things, get bonuses, do stuff like that.
Paul. Oh, Jesus. So first of all, before that, I'm assisting with my command,
Mhm.
thing. Are you fine with me
Yes,
rolling
would you?
command and control?
You were using. I'm not going to make you roll for the advisory. I think it just gets into the reroll, correct?
Okay. Yes. So please
just-
reroll
yeah,
that
I'm-
20.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Well, but you can also assist and give somebody an extra, like, at least when we play it, like,
Yes,
whoever's
you can,
assisting
but
rolls
you said you guys were-
1d20.
Correct,
Okay,
but you
that's
said
fair,
you were
thank
going to
you.
go off
Yeah.
and you said you were going to go off and
Yeah,
examine the
Okay, I
xenobiology.
got you.
So you can't be there assisting him
Yes.
and be looking into the xenobiology.
No,
at the same
Yeah,
time.
you're fine. You're fine.
So, but you can't give
but
him
yeah,
advice
reroll-
beforehand. So
Reroll that 20.
Okay.
Trust
20
your
20 is
feelings,
no
friend. Okay.
And
Well,
I
at
don't think
least
that
no
works still.
complication.
no complication. So for some odd reason, it
Hooray!
might have been passing through the ionosphere. It might have been the annoyance, but you just can't seem to increase the output on this scanner for some odd reason. Doesn't seem to be clicking with you. It might just be you're feeling weird passing through. Your Borg implants might be a little tingling after passing through this ionosphere. But you tried and you didn't damage anything. Went horribly wrong, but you ran your diagnostic on it, leaving it in the hands of your fellow Starfleet officers. So you now have the scanner set up. Your 5 of 12 tried to increase the output on it using some of his previous Borg technologies. And if you want to go ahead and give me a roll on, like, we're getting into that assistance mechanic, because there are 2 of you working on this with him. One of you can assist and roll 1d20. If you roll under, you will give the person who's rolling for the main roll an additional die, allowing them to roll 3d20 rather than 2d20. So who is going to be our lead person on this task? Because this is examining the ionosphere, one of the major tasks for your away mission, which is an extended roll over the course of this situation. And who is the assistant on this particular one? I would assume our engineer would be going, but I could
probably lead on that. I do have technical expertise. Whenever I attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, I can reroll 1d20.
Good call. That sounds like a really good thing for you to be the lead on that one for then. So
Yes,
Who
Lieutenant, I
does
think we
anybody
got a
assist?
failure in the progressive subspace detectors are being disrupted. I'm going to do an adjustment on the partial rec deck to see if we can get that to straighten out.
Mhm. Yeah, sounds like a bunch of technical jargon
So-
that applies in a Star Trek setting. Is
So,
anybody assisting our
Complication.
engineer?
Okay.
Simora should assist with the.
I was
the,
going to
uh,
say that I think Simora probably actually hearing that you guys are going to check out the biology might actually peel off to go do that
Oh, okay,
instead.
sure,
Because
that's fine.
they have
Okay.
way more experience with xenobiology than sensors.
That's
so they-
fair.
Legit.
Also for Chami and Simora, what are your guys' ranks again?
Ensign.
Ensign, and you are
Ensigns,
muted.
probably.
Ensign also?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I misstated earlier. I'm ensign as well. I've only got the 1 pip here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So everybody is an
Mhm.
ensign? Okay, cool.
And you're the lieutenant. You're literally
Oh,
in
God.
charge.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
God.
So what you do there, Hawkeye, is you always roll 2d20. And if you roll under your engineering plus reason, which is 17, you would get a success.
Okay, so task roll 2, complication 1. All right, so, and this is going to be what? Engineering
Engineering plus reason.
plus reason.
Boom, boom, 2 hits. So you start the scan, and it seems to be starting to collect the data. It doesn't seem to clearly have reached a conclusion this quickly, but you are noticing that the ionosphere seems to be a naturally occurring effect, and you're not sure if it's a the ionosphere made the flora and fauna, or the flora and fauna made the ionosphere yet. But you do know that doesn't seem to be a source. It doesn't seem to be machine-made. It does seem to be naturally occurring to this planet. That is what you've deduced so far from your scans. I assume everybody stays within communication range, by the way, as they go off to start looking at the flora and fauna. We don't head out too terribly far. Are we still within line of sight and eye shot of the rest of everyone, or do we like go out of line of sight? So we don't we look at the closest flora and fauna. I assume we throw some scans on there. All right.
Start there first. Yeah.
Yep.
So the team that is going off to look at our flora and fauna and start examining our xenobiological situation. What are we what are we using? And two, what exactly are we looking for? Are we looking for flora, like just the plant life and the coral like plant life in the area? Or are we looking for like live animal specimens?
I think Simora is interested in the plant life and its nature and seeming more under the sea-ish, like checking out the salt composition, checking out if it has specific chlorophyll properties that would imply that it should have been under the sea instead of above ground like it currently is. And just basically seeing if there's any unusual properties. Seeing also, I guess, if it has any properties that would imply that it is maybe being eaten, because some plants do develop certain properties that indicate that there is fauna around trying to eat it, like poison. Poison's not really something that really needs to be developed in a occasion where there aren't predators.
All right, so you effectively have 3 different plants to choose from there with an easy shot of the ship that's going to keep you in line of sight of the shuttle. And basically it's an A, B, or C situation. Which one would you like to examine first?
Let's start at the top of the alphabet. Let's begin with A.
Let's begin with Alpha. All right, so you go ahead and give me a science roll, unless you think you have a medicine focus that would apply more importantly to this.
No, I have a 4 in science. Science works.
Let's go ahead and go insight science because you're looking for a lot of very different things here, and the combination of those two seems to fit a little bit better. I feel, unless you would make like to make a logical go-to for reason instead of insight. Because if you can win me over that argument, of course, you can use your
if you're picking any sort of plant and you're looking at it, especially with the tricorder, it is going to have a certain spectroscopy to it that does, in fact, imply that it has certain properties. It is currently used in real-life astrobiology to look at salt compositions and to actually compare it to salt compositions on our own planet to see if there is a possibility of alien life on planets like on moons like Europa and Enceladus.
Sure. Okay. Sure. There you go. You can science your you can reason science your way through this.
Difficulty.
Go ahead. I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For A, we're going to go ahead and have the difficulty be 1.
Okay. I'm like looking at any of my abilities right now. I don't think I have anything right now. That works. I'll pick some later. Okay. And I can use my focus of astrobiology for this, yeah?
Astrobiology?
Yes, I specifically have the word astrobiology written.
Yeah, no, it's either going to be xenobiology, astrobiology is fine for this particular role, yes.
Those are the same thing. They're just different names.
Yes, I know. And so I was like, they're the same.
I wrote astrobiology because that's what it gets called in the field, like in the actual field.
Yeah.
So that is I only rolled 1 success, so that would be 2. Because of astrobiology, the focus doubles it.
Sure. Doubles the success, or it doubles the ability. Like, what number did you roll? Is the question.
I rolled a 2 and a 17.
Yes. Then you rolling under your science score will double it to 2 successes. Correct.
Yeah.
So we gain a momentum for the party. So plant A, which you've discovered a new species of plants. Go ahead and name it as you see fit, because that's how that works in the world. So name your plant. it does not appear to have... You can quickly tell that it has progressed in this particular way due to radiation deficiencies that the ionosphere is blocking. So there are certain radiations that are not getting through the normal atmosphere that you would normally see for the plant life to develop in a particular way. So you can kind of start to deduce that it might be the lack of radiations that are being filtered is possibly why the plant life is developing this way, because of how the radiations are filtered through the ionosphere. This particular plant, whatever you would like to name it, does not seem to have any poisonous roots or have any defense mechanisms that would stop it from being eaten by the local fauna, meaning that it might be a situation of it's something that produces rapidly or quickly enough that it is not worried about procreating at a pace that's going to stop it from being eaten out. You can tell that based upon you kind of picked the first plant A, which is a smaller, lower grown plant. It's not necessarily a weed, but you would think of it, possibly it could be in that weed department situation where it's something that looks like it's going to flower quickly, looks like it's going to spread its seeds or spores at a fast pace, and that this is going to be something that, procreates quickly if the environment maintains the way it's supposed to. Cool. We also have two other people that are kind of helping her, also looking at things. What are they looking at right now? Looking at the life on the planet.
I think I would also be looking at plants, just checking to see if any of them have any medicinal properties that might be useful, that could be synthesized and replicated in a safer space, just to see what types of things could potentially be cured from the plant life of this world.
Well, if you're staying in the same general area as our other medical tech, then definitely B or C would be the other plant you would be looking at. I assume you're not taking your time to scan exactly the same plants that your compatriot is scanning. So which one would you like to scan?
Yeah, I'd say I'll just go with B.
B? Same roll. Reason.
And, can I actually argue for medicine?
Yeah, sure.
Since
You
I'm
are looking.
specifically
You're not looking
scanning
to
for
scientifically break
medicinal
down. You're
properties.
looking for. You're comparing it to a medical database to look at see if these things are comparable to other medical things from the sound of things. Correct? Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, 1.
Nicely done.
That's
Yes.
nice. So that is 2 successes. Did you roll under on
And
both
the
of them, or
other
just
one was a 9.
A 9.
The
so
other
also
one was a
probably
9,
lower.
and that is also
Okay.
under my insight. So
3 total hits, which lets us add some more momentum to the group pool. You on plant B, medically, it is hard to say if it is medically, but you're definitely going to be able to compare to your other fellow scientist/medical officer that this plant is poisonous, and if ingested, could probably kill someone. So its medical applications aren't exactly the best, but it has applications.
I wouldn't eat this one if I were you.
Is it carbon based?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ensign, I tend to have a habit of not putting strange alien plant forms into my body without checking, but thank you for the advice.
Keep track of what it is. We may need to use it to feed anything that might attack us.
I don't think poisons work that fast. They tend to take at least 5 minutes to actually kill a person.
How fast does
It
it look
wouldn't
like
hurt.
this poison would work?
So, I would
it.
like to remind everyone of the Prime Directive.
I'm just curious. I want to look at the
us
stats of the plant I scanned.
Once again, everyone, we have phasers that have stun settings, so, perhaps we don't need to jump to poison immediately should we be under attack.
I am simply
You don't have to worry. I'd rather hurt people, heal them, and then hurt them again.
Sorry,
So
one of my
this one
values
time-
is emergencies are just instant opportunities.
Yep. So at this point in time, Lieutenant, your comm badge brings, and there's a round of check-in from the other lieutenants and the other shuttlecraft, and everybody checks in and everybody lets everybody know that everybody's doing fine. They've started their scans. They've started looking at some of the local flora and fauna as well. Nothing seems to be out of place, and everybody checks in and makes the first round of check-in since the Tokugawa has left orbit. So, it's on the schedule without a problem. As for this particular plant, if one of the local fauna it was designed to kill a local fauna, it could probably kill it rather quickly. If you wanted to use it to kill a person, welcome to Section 31. No, if you wanted to use it to kill a person, you could probably boil it down and turn it into a poison that could kill someone in a matter of 45 seconds to a minute if you condensed it down, picked a bunch of the plant, boiled down the property, and condensed it into an actual lethal poison. The advantage of that would be the fact that there's probably not an antidote for it right now because you're on a mostly unsurveyed planet and no one would really know what to administer. If you want to check the medical logs, there's some maybe possible antidotes, but that's that's chemically matching up. Should cure this poison, but you don't know for sure because you just discovered it.
Well, I would like to take some samples so I can actually try to synthesize an antidote for this poison.
Sure. Then go ahead and add a third task to the task group. And go ahead and grab your samples, take them to the shuttle, and go ahead and give me a reasoned medicine roll to start synthesizing an antidote to this particular poison. This is going to be extended.
Actually, I rolled a 2 this time, but the other one is not under my reason. So I do still get 2 successes from rolling under my score, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct. So you started 2 successes on this particular task. We have a total of 5 total successes on examining the local fauna. Is there anything else people would like to do before the next round of scans from our engineer?
I would like to try to use my tricorder as well as some of my telepathic senses to try to sense if there's any animal life in the immediate area.
Sure.
I want to watch my people's back and make sure there's not stuff sneaking up on us.
Sure.
What do you want for that? Like, insight science? Or...
No, that'd be insight... I'd say insight security, because you're specifically looking for... Yeah. Okay. Insight security is definitely what I would roll for that.
How do you roll once you select the things on the sheet? And what would you, what are you putting the difficulty
The button next to task roll.
Task.
This will be varying based on how many successes you get in the task roll, because you are specifically running this like a...
there it is.
Specifically looking for lots of things. So for every degree of success, I will give you more information type situation.
Okay. So, so this is a difficulty 0 with each degree, or is it 3? Sorry.
It'll start at a difficulty 2, and for every degree over 2, you'll find out more information.
Then I would like to buy a third dice with momentum.
Sure. Go ahead and mark off that momentum for the group.
Okay. So hopefully this works correctly. So
looks like it did.
2 successes.
Yeah.
You've gotten 2 successes. So
yes.
What you will quickly realize and scan for the area is you extend your scans out, and you realize pretty quickly that your tricorder isn't operating at the maximum range it could be. that the ionosphere of the planet clearly like is dampening sensor and sweep range like it had for the ship. It is not useless. It clearly works, but it's clearly not going to give you the same range you're used to getting when you're on your away missions. You're not going to get that full, 100 yards good tricorder range. It's kind of half the range you're used to on a tricorder. So it didn't really come up when people were scanning, local fauna, because they're not focusing on the maximum range of the tricorder, whereas you are using it in a manner to secure the area and check for life signs out. You will get some life signs out, but given the fact that you guys did land a shuttle here 2 hours ago and have been moving around and are very large creatures, it doesn't appear that most of the wildlife has really returned to the area. You're dealing with things that are the equivalencies of, smaller life, bird life. You're not seeing any large predators or large herbivores or anything like that in the area since you guys have set down. And they definitely aren't within range of your tricorder. As for your other instincts and other senses, you're not really sensing any major life or any big emotions outside of your crew members that are near you and that you can see.
Okay, cool.
And that's kind of what you've got going on there.
Can I set my phaser then to passively scan and, give an alarm?
Your tricorder to passively scan?
Your tricorder?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because, if you would like to turn your phaser into a grenade and kick off the party...
No, sorry. To have the tricorder, passively sweeping, on an interval, so that way, we have at least for this range,
sure.
An alarm system.
For the range, for the smaller range of your camp, yes, you can totally do that.
Okay, cool.
It's not going to get the outskirts of the camp, but it'll definitely get, if you set it up to be in the center of the camp by the shuttle, it'll cover, what your engineering and just on the outskirts of what your two medical and science officer are both doing. And that brings us back to 5 and Malachi.
Back to scanning.
Are you guys going to go for another round of scans? Are you looking to assist this time, 5, or what are we looking to do as you were kind of heading up this particular scan?
Yeah, so 5 is just kind of muttering to himself. Eventually speaks up. Ensign Jabez, it would appear that the scanners on the ship are not flying properly. Perhaps rather than simply boosting the power, we would be able to compensate for the interference from the ionosphere, rather than, as they would say, brute force our way to a solution.
What is your suggestion?
Well, simply to modify the parameters of the scan such that any interference would not be registered.
Yeah, Ensign, if you think you can get it done, then please, by all means.
As you wish, Lieutenant.
If I may, Ensign. It could be something with the Altonian warp circuit not responding correctly. Perhaps if we reflex it with a bioneural transducer, that might help compensate for the interference going on.
That would appear to be logical, Ensign. I will attempt that currently. So, once again, trying to... It doesn't even, type anything. In fact, his hands seem kind of stiff. He flexes them a lot. Most of the interaction comes from his implants.
So, are you trying to filter out some of the interference now that you've started your scan? Is that what you're looking to do?
Exactly, yes.
Okie dokie. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me that same engineering roll again.
Okay.
This will be reason engineering. This will be difficulty 3, only because you've only done preliminary scanning, which means you might not have enough data to properly set the parameters of your filter. You might be filtering the wrong thing.
Okay.
Would it be possible I could lend any assistance to him?
You can give an assist if you would like to.
Also,
Okay.
don't forget you can buy an extra dice with momentum, because we should still have a
Yeah,
bunch. I think.
considering my terrible roll, I think I think I would like.
Well, in fact, I have a talent that might assist us with that.
Oh.
Let's
So right now the group is at
see.
5. It should be at 5 momentum.
And this would not be necessarily a technical problem with our ship, though, would it? Directly.
No, this would not. This is a environmental hazard situation. This is an environmental
Okay,
situation
so-
for generally about a minute.
All right.
Oh.
Then
I-
probably my
I
best
think
bet
I
would be
also-
using probably my expertise talent would still be the one to use on that one. Unless my focus
Yes, sir.
of physics or astrophysics would come into play.
No.
I
Okay.
think I might also have a talent that might help. Direct neural interface. When the character attempts a task that involves or is assisted by a computer, including the ship's computer system, the character gains a bonus d20 for their dice pool.
Yeah, that would totally apply.
Perfect.
So you'd
Perfect.
buy your first die for 1, and you'd be able to roll 4 die at that point in time.
Okay. And would the difficulty be the complication range, or?
So on the sheet, it should say task roll. Yeah, it says task roll 1, 2, 3. Complication range. Yes, your also complication range would be 3 as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So it's not task. The default task roll is 2, and so you'd be the task roll 3, and it should tell you how many dice you should be rolling as well.
Okay.
All right.
Right, 3 successes.
That chicka too early. Looks like it only rolled 2 dice. If you want to roll 2 more, you can.
Oh, sure.
You're definitely most of the way there.
Okay.
Because you should get to roll 4 die on that. There you go. That second one is exactly correct in how it should work. Oh no, I'm sorry. I had a giant lag spike. I only saw Jen's roll. So your dice, you got 3 successes on 4 dice, which is exactly the appropriate number.
Mm-hmm.
We're great.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
All right. You whiz. So you realize, and you get through, and you find you manage to surprisingly be able to filter out a lot of the ionic radiation, or the ionic sphere's radiation, allowing you to streamline the task of making of getting the scan done faster, because you're now filtering out the radiation. So you've dropped the task threshold for the number of successes you need to achieve to get the task scan finished by 5. So this is now going to take less time because you've streamlined your parameters in which you're looking at. That is definitely a big achievement and accomplishment, and probably should get you an accommodation later when you get back to the ship, because it was a very smart thing to do, and you did it with very limited data. But now this will allow your engineer to make a roll for the second scan, and we'll get to do that one more time, and then we're about to break into some fun from there.
All right, so on my roll, second verse, same as the first?
Second verse, same as the first, unless you would like to use momentum to buy some more dice.
Okay. I didn't do this last time, but could I apply my focus of either physics or astrophysics into this, or?
Neither one of them really apply. You're not dealing.
Okay, because I don't think quantum mechanics are going to fit, and definitely it's not Warfield in. I'm not doing any xenobiology stuff. So okay, I just thought I'd check.
No, this is not really
All
a
right,
physics
so-
question. This is
All right, so we'll go ahead and use my technical expertise then, which will get me a reroll on one of the dice. So everything's still set as it was before. So complication range, does that need to be 1 or 2? Or where are we at here on this?
It should just be 1, because you're running an extended challenge. Yeah, you're not doing.
Okay.
You're not trying to make a quick adjustment. Yeah. You're running what we like to refer to as extended challenges from the book. So this is you.
Complication 1
done.
and task roll 2. Okay, just wanted to make sure I had it right.
Yep. And 2 more
All
successes.
Right.
The scan seems to be going on time. You haven't done that cool Scotty trick of being able to utterly destroy the timetable in which you're supposed to accomplish something, as we all know happens in Star Trek on a regular basis. So you're on schedule for getting this task done. And as you're doing that, everyone's comms light up over the emergency frequency, and you get from it seems to be one of the ensigns from one of the other shuttles is like, they're all over. I can't. They're here. I don't know why. And that's what you hear as it suddenly goes dead, and it's clearly been, for those of you with engineering expertise, and probably 5 as well, can tell when a comm signal is being jammed. Clearly this ensign had tried to bypass whatever was jamming his comm, had gotten there for a brief couple of moments before it had been jammed again. It's not the same interference you're getting from the ionosphere. Once you all were inside the ionosphere, communicating with the other shuttles has been really easy. It's only communicating outside that's been the problem.
So, Lieutenant, I hate to say it, but this is an intentional signal jam. This is not the ionosphere interference or anything like that. Something is jamming the signal. They've come up against something out there.
Can you determine the location of that shuttle? Because
I was just about to ask your permission to do so, Lieutenant.
Excellent. Make it so. And then she'd look at the other 2 ensigns. We should start heading back to the shuttle. Maybe we can provide some support if they're under siege.
All right. I'm going out of character. Simora is going to try to quickly grab the final plan. Not necessarily to scan right now, but to scan. Oh, I can scan right now?
I mean,
scan right now.
He's trying to triangulate the signal. You could scan while he's trying to triangulate.
It's going to take me a little time.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That is a thing you can try to do.
Yeah, Simora will say, I'm going to try and scan the final plan then.
Yes, just make it quick, Ensign.
Hello. I'll go and scan. I also, so for scanning, same rules as last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I also have an ability that says when you attempt a task using engineering or science, you may roll 1 additional d20, so long as you succeeded at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier in the same adventure. So can I roll 3?
Yes, you can. You can totally roll 3. Go ahead and give me those rolls, and I can also have our engineer give me that roll. It is a difficulty 3 test for the engineer roll for figuring out exactly which signal it was. Just so you can run that in the background while we're doing this particular.
Complication range still the same at 1, or does that go up to 2?
Complication range is 2. That goes up as well this time.
Okay.
So
also feel free to spend that momentum.
Oh, I don't need to. I rolled a 5 and 11 and
with permission, I will go ahead and spend a momentum on this.
Yes. You were who I was talking to, so go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm
gonna do plants.
I rolled a 5, an 11, and a 2, and I have a focus in astrobiology. And I think the cap is what I wanted to roll under is 15. So.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
All right. So what do I?
And your skill does that. So you guys are full of momentum right now because I'm tracking momentum separately because we could be tracking it on screen as well, but I don't have that page open right now. As for what you need
point of order, what button do I hit to add the momentum to my roll? Just make the task roll higher by 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Task roll higher by 1. Not a problem.
Okay.
Task roll higher by 1. So this particular plant, shit, that's a good ass one roll. I'll deal with that in a moment.
No problem. Just getting it ready for you.
Oh yeah.
Getting it ready for me. Getting it ready for me. So, spending that momentum
Jabez
always a good
just
idea.
like, I know this.
All right. So, part 1, the last plant. So the last plant you scan is really weird. Really weird in that sense of, like, you scan it. Above ground, there's very little plant. Below ground, like, the root system seems to be rather large, and you're fairly sure, given how this plant... What's up?
Mycelium-like?
Kind of. the best equivalency is because you have astrobiology and because you're a medical officer, the thing that jumps into your mind from old Earth records is the fish that used to have generate like the little light that would lure other things close. So what the name of that fish?
Very concerning.
What's up? Yeah.
The anglerfish.
Yes, thank you. The anglerfish, where it's this part of the plant sits above ground in a particular manner that's designed to be alluring to possible, fauna, and then it eats the fauna. So this is the lower part, and then the roots will come up and devour the fauna. So it's still a plant, but it is definitely not a it has all the signs of what you would see in a carnivore, rather than something that produces, photosynthesis for energy. So that is very much what you were...
To me, that fauna would be abound on this world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely going to turn around and go, the final plant, it looks like one of your world's anglerfishes, where it is essentially working as a lure. The rest of the plant is carnivorous. It has deep roots. I suggest not touching it.
I would like to touch it.
Do not touch it!
No! Ensign, with respect, we have our fellow crewmen are under some sort of danger. We
That's
should
fair
go.
enough.
It very well might be that this is the plant. This plant might extend far further than we are seeing, and whatever they are in danger of might well indeed be some greater part of it. Or something else.
Paul,
Mhm.
in this system, are we aware of any other forces that are nearby? Like, are there any habited colonies of any of the known species?
Not anywhere close. Like, there's some minor trade situations, but there's not any galactic powers that have really laid claim to anything near this area.
Okay. What is curious about all of this is that it sounds like the signal is being actively jammed, which would suggest the interference of a third party. But all of our scans and readings of the area indicated this was pretty much an uninhabited part of the sector. So there is a lot to be concerned about.
It could be some form of basic life that does not...
That is...
not warp capable, but capable of jamming signals.
Capable of jamming Starfleet tech, though, Ensign. That would be
It
incredibly demanding.
It could be something that it does naturally and is not engineered.
That is also a possibility. The ion storm blocks quite a few signals. It could be a storm ran through.
Or some sort of life form that has managed to harness the ionosphere.
So your engineering ensign decided that he really wanted to triangulate this signal, and given the ensign's communicator code, and given his knowledge of which crew members came down and which ships, and given the direction it came from, he quickly finds out it was designated Shuttlecraft Beta. You guys are Shuttlecraft Gamma. There's Shuttlecraft Alpha was the first one that landed. This is Shuttlecraft Beta. It came down there to the west of you. If you're looking at kind of the triangle setup, you guys would be in the... If we're going, like, Alpha is in point A, you guys are down to the west, to the south western point. So they're almost directly east of you for the triangulation of the signal. And you guys could try to pick up and fly to them, but doing that would break the way you guys have triangulated to be able to project your signal out to the Tokugawa. So it would break the ability to make planet, to communicate off planet, which is probably not the best idea. You guys could hoof it on foot It's probably only 3 or 4. It's about 4 kilometers, which isn't awful. You are Starfleet officers, so that is about, if you guys are, kind of setting a march pace and trying to go quick about it, that's 25 minutes-ish of time it would take you to get there to them. So it's not the worst amount of time if you're going to set a not cautious pace. If you're going to set a more cautious pace, it'll be about 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, so first of all, we're reporting in to the other shuttles of, we have received distress from the beta shuttle. Our team is going to investigate, given in order to not break communications with the Tokugawa, we were going to go forth on foot. We will advise with what we find when we find it.
All right, this is Lieutenant Abrams from Gamma Shuttle, or from Alpha Shuttle. Keep us posted, Gamma Team Lead. We will try to keep things on higher alert here. Just let us know what's going on. If we don't hear from you in 20 minutes, we will attempt to contact Tokugawa.
Excellent. This is, and she would send their current coordinates and then the coordinates of where Beta Shuttle is, so that way they have all of those things.
Okay.
All right. So let us form ranks. We're going to attempt to head towards where Beta Shuttle is. Let's see. Ensign Simora. If we can keep you passively scanning the various things as we are going forward, that would be great. So we'll have you probably in the middle of our formation. Who else has security training? Okay.
Simora has security training.
A little.
Oh. Okay.
Simora
well,
has...
then maybe we'll have.
I have
someone
quite a
take up
lot
the
of
rear.
security training.
Yeah. So Ensign Chami, if you can take point, and then the rest of us will be in the middle. Ensign Simora, if you can take the rear.
Actually, really quick, it would be Ensign Latha, because in Bajoran culture,
that's right.
last name comes first.
I am so sorry. I forgot that your character was Bajoran. Yes, Ensign Latha, if you could please take point, then hopefully we will find that this is not something as dire as it sounds.
If I may also suggest, Lieutenant, my ocular implant is able to function much in the same way as a tricorder, so I may also be able to keep watch.
Please. We don't know what is in the wilds of this place, so everybody should be considered on high alert, just in case.
Indeed.
Okay. So, are you guys heading out? What is the pace you're looking to set while you're heading out? Are we going for speed or caution? Brisk. So we're moving fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I suggest we take an even pace in case.
I was gonna say a medium pace.
Let's not exhaust ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't want to get there and be too exhausted in case we need to defend or rescue.
Yeah, I was thinking a good power walk, where you're walking quickly, but you're still trying to be cautious and not make a ton of noise.
So you're looking to get there within 35 minutes, not 45 minutes. So you're not being hyper cautious, but you're setting a solid pace. Just making sure.
Setting a pace that, if need be, we can turn around and run for our lives.
Sounds great. let's see. So go ahead, and I will need over the course of about the 30 to 35 minutes you guys set the pace for. I will need 2 scans for security. You guys can you can either choose to do them separately, or you can choose to assist and have somebody make them roll as a whole. And that is how I will handle basically our 2 perception-ish checks that we will need for this trip. So do you guys want to have it do it as a group and assistance, or do you guys each want to make individual rolls?
I'm not particular.
I'm not particular either.
Mathematically,
rolling individually presents a better probability.
Well,
but...
I was gonna say we should have the characters with the higher security rolls roll with the others assisting, because then we give them an extra dice. So like, because whoever assists a roll only rolls 1 d20. But like it'll just be easier than like having the possibility of just everybody failing.
Let's be clear. I love the fact that you guys all roll separately. For every complication you guys get, I get more threat. So there's also the low-end probability of I see a bunch of bad rolls, I get to be more powerful, which is why I give you guys the choice as the players.
All right.
So who's
also,
confident
I did
with
not
their
take
security?
collaboration. I did not take collaboration and security, so I can't give my bonuses to someone else.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't either.
Yeah. So the other, so if you guys are really good at security, then one of us will assist you with the assist
really
roll.
good. I have 3.
I only have a 2, so.
I have a 4
I've
in
has a 1.
security, and 11 in insight, and 10 in daring. So.
Okay.
I have a 10 in daring.
Sweet. So Latha and Simora will roll, and then
which one is going first and which one is going second? All right.
I will. So Paul, can I assist Latha with my command, and give her the bonus of my talent?
Sure, you can.
Cool.
I will let.
So yeah, like basically giving her the the command directive of like this is all the things and blah 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 blah. Do you want me to roll command to assist, or do you want me to roll security to assist?
I will let you roll command to assist in this particular regards.
So
because you are doing it as the commanding officer, you're giving direction. You're not being like I'm also using my cool security. You're like be on the lookout for these particular events and.
I have a focus in Starfleet protocols. Would that apply?
Not in this particular case. Not in this particular case. You guys are setting a brisk place through an unsurveyed world. There isn't really a good security protocol for that other than
what
be
about
on alert.
composure? Composure.
Yes, I will let your composure one fly. That's
totally fine. Awesome, cool. All right, so
because you never want to see the people under your command.
Oh God, I gave you that's a complication. Fuck.
Sweet, excellent, love that.
Oops.
I'm not going.
All right.
I'm not going to take the threat on that.
Uh-oh.
I will know exactly what my complication is.
Oh no.
All right. Should I still roll?
Yes.
You still roll.
Is it just going to be 2 dice then instead of 3?
Yes.
Correct.
Unless you buy
can spend momentum for
another with momentum. Which you might as well.
Yeah, you guys are sitting.
We have a ton of momentum.
Yeah, you guys are still sitting back at 6 with his 5 successes. I'm gonna scan the area roll. I know exactly where these guys are.
All right. Only 1 success, and it was over my security. So yeah, just 1 success.
Just 1 success. Well, unfortunately, due to that complication, you are lead. Are you on? Who's on point? Are you on point for this?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So
Latha
you're
was the
leading them
sign
through
point.
Yeah, you're leading them through the area, and you look down and realize, oh, that's that plant I wanted to touch. As your boot comes in contact with it.
Oh no!
Oh no.
So it's in that one bare moment, you were pretty much right, Ensign Sim. The roots and around the area suddenly shoot out and grab on to your fellow Starfleet officer, trying to drag them below ground. And as you see this thing that's dragging you below ground, the impression you get is like it's basically bark and roots and other things, but the way it's swirling in on itself, it looks like you're about to get put into a meat grinder and ground up for your protein parts.
That's terrifying.
Oh
Gosh.
god!
Since we're on an away mission, do I have my do I have a
Oh, you guys all have hand phasers.
phaser?
You guys all
All
have
right,
hand
I want to
phasers. Oh,
pull
yeah.
it out immediately and start shooting
Yeah.
down at it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started blasting. No, I hear you.
Yeah,
Can I go grab?
yeah,
Can I
We're
go
all
grab,
pulling him out at this point.
Ensign
Yeah.
Latha
yeah.
and
No,
pull
as
him?
soon as it opens up, since I'm on point, I'm gonna say my phaser was already out, and then I just
Yeah.
like
Legit.
start
No, super
shooting it
legit.
immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, not a problem.
All right, so I'm gonna
So-
take another momentum on this.
Do it.
So we're actually going to get into combat here because it sounds like we actually want to initiate a real combat rather than a crazy scripted scene for this complication from the sound of things, right? I want to be real clear because
Yeah.
I can let us
Mhm.
all make one big security roll and have a scene, or do you want to have a real combat based upon all the responses? It sounds like everybody wants to be involved, and I want to make sure everybody gets to feel their involvement. So I'm more than happy to move into an actual combat here. But if people would like to make a big consolidated roll to have a dramatic scene that is appropriate, because this is only a complication. Which would the players prefer? Because I'm hearing lots of things. I want to make
Not
sure
sure I
everybody
want
gets
to
their
fight
fulfillment out of the situation.
This mysterious flesh pit monster, if we're honest.
Mysterious flesh pit.
I mean-
Holy
Listen, I've been-
moly.
It's a
I'm
pop
fine.
culture reference. Allow me my pop culture references.
Paul, like, I'm fine if you want to have, like, I think a happy medium with, like, the 3 on the right rolling things, and then, like, us 2 on the left assisting or whatever, and just doing a singular roll that way.
I'm whatever people want to do. Like I said, I will allow this to totally
That
be done
sounds
with a
good.
cool cinematic scene because it's a complication. But there are lots of people who are like, we all pull out our phasers and start blasting, and I don't want to feel
Oh
people
no, I
that
was
they
saying
don't
I'm
have
trying
the
to pull
opportunity to
Lanta
start
out
blasting.
of.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
I want
Okay.
to pull Lanta out of there. I
So
don't-
we have
Yeah.
two
I
people
don't
trying to
have
pull
to.
Ensa out, and the other 2 looks like they're going to start phaser blasting.
Or
Are we
covering.
good to make this covering?
Mhm.
Are we good to make this one big collaborative scene rather than round by
Yeah.
round combat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
Excellent. So then we have, I'm going to go ahead and break this down into tasks then. And we have 2 tasks going on. We have shooting the monster, or the plant life, and then we have pulling out our ensign as well. And this is kind of I'm going to run this like you would run a race in other games with accumulated tasks. Whichever side kind of gets to their accumulated task number first is the side that's going to basically contribute to the scene in X manner. But you're all going to get to act and do the thing you want to do. Because I would like it to be very
Mhm.
dramatic. We're going to say it's going to be 5 to blast away, 5 successes to blast away with our phasers, and we're going to say it's going to be 5 successes to pull our captured ensign out of the jaws of the maw of the plant creature. And what we will do is go ahead and I will just have Jen roll, then we'll have Hawkeye roll, then we'll have Bard roll, and then we'll have Stephen roll, and we'll do it in that order back and forth. And whoever gets that way first will go that way. And of course, our ensign in distress can pick which side they would like to add their roll to at the very end to see if that makes a difference of getting you out in either situation. So you're kind of the deciding vote.
Okay.
Deciding
Okay.
factor.
What
Mhm.
do you want me to roll,
That's-
Paul?
What was that?
What do you want me to roll?
Well, what do you think is most appropriate here? You're trying to drag somebody out of a mall, so either daring or
Fitness.
fitness.
Okay.
I would lean on fitness. I mean, daring. It depends on how deep
Yeah.
that your lieutenant's going to get in there. Because if the lieutenant puts themselves in legitimately hard danger trying to drag this person out, daring would also be very appropriate. And I'm going to say security, because security is the one kind of doing physical actions thing in this particular case.
Okay.
So, fitness or daring, whichever one you...
Can I get a focus, my composure focus?
Yeah, I'll give you composure.
Because this is a stressful situation, and she is.
Oh yeah, this is the first thing to go wrong in the away mission you're in command of. This is definitely a stressful situation.
For you specifically.
Also...
For you, not the person being eaten. Your command is at stake here, and as we know.
Exactly.
Your next pip rides on this.
It cost you promotion.
Oh, dang it.
Losing the
she
life
had
of
so
your
much
ally.
If you want to get your next one of these, you've got to make this successful.
Okay. How much momentum do we have?
You guys currently have 5.
I am buying a third dice.
Sounds good.
Okay. Ugh.
Did you give me
Yeah.
another complication?
No. I got 1 success.
All right, 1 success. All right. Our favorite engineer, our favorite Trill engineer, it is your turn. I believe you started blasting. Was your
Yeah, I'm
stated
going to
action?
go with the phaser. Yeah, that's going to be my action
Excellent.
here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So it's
I believe the roll.
So phaser
on
type
ranged,
1.
We're just going to use the ranged attack roll. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did go with daring, so Qianna is definitely like braced against like one of the things like you're not going down this easy.
Yep. All right. Nice. Oh, you rolled 4, so that actually needs to be like a 2 unless you're burning a bunch of momentum there.
No, I wasn't intending to. Oh,
okay.
the task roll. I need to fix the task roll again.
Yeah, you need the task roll because you just kind of went with You said it. You left it at 4. So.
Yeah, I accidentally left it at 4. Do I need to redo? Do I need to change that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll at 2 unless you're burning a momentum to make it 3.
No. All right.
So
let me do it.
2.
Let me do it. All right. Once more with feeling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so. If you're clicking on the phaser one, it's going to keep giving you the phaser roll.
Oh, okay.
I need you to make the attack roll for that, which is I believe universally a daring security roll. There's a roll for ranged. It's the ranged combat attack roll.
Okay.
Which I don't have memorized off the top of my head.
Daring security. Okay, so then just do the task roll off of there then. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the sheet.
Totally fine. No, that's if you're fire because we're not using it in real combat terms. Yeah.
All right, 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah, it's cool. We got this. 2 successes. So our engineer takes out the phaser and starts blasting. The creature makes the plant makes a noise, like it sounds like bark grating on bark. It might be a scream or a yell. It's hard to tell, but it's very disconcerting. Our empath hears the emotions of pain coming off of this plant-like creature.
Oh gosh. Wait, it can. I think it might be like it can feel.
Yeah.
Good. Maybe we can make it feel more.
Next.
Let's make it feel more so it lets
our
go.
fellow ensign trying to drag their fellow science/medical officer out of this. Is daring or fitness plus security?
I'm gonna
spend another momentum.
I'm gonna roll fitness and security and burn a momentum.
Sounds good. You guys are down to 4 momentum.
Ooh, I rolled so debatably. So that would be 2 successes.
Okay. Is there a complication in there as well, or just 2 successes?
2 successes
I heard
and a
debatably.
14. I said the reason I said debatably is because I had my DC was a 13 and I rolled a 14, and that's very annoying.
Fair enough.
Does the untapped potential make a difference here? Because it says when you succeed at a task which you bought one of... Actually, no, succeed at a task. Never mind. Ignore that.
Yeah. All right. 5 of 12. I believe you also are starting to blast away with your phaser.
I believe so. That is daring and security, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I don't believe yeah, no focus for this one. Okay.
Spending any momentum?
Nope.
Nope. And you blasting away, and apparently Team Blasting Away is much further ahead. This leaves our
We're at 4.
This leaves our ensign in distress with phaser in hand. You've seen your 2 crew members already start blasting as the lieutenant and your fellow medical / science officers are there trying to drag you away from the claws of this beast. Would you like to try to break free, adding to their pool, or would you like to just keep blasting and be like, kill the beast, get off me?
I think at this point, like, that just took me off guard. They're just panicked to wrap around them. They just start firing.
Blast
and I
away.
am going to spend a momentum.
Sounds good. Down to 3.
It's fine, we can just have us do more science rolls.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Don't like the look on the face.
Oh, you only had to roll 1 success. What happened?
0 successes and a complication.
Oh,
I
no.
love that. I'll take the threat on that particular complication
Oh,
and add
Yeah.
that to my threat pool.
Oof.
You 2 are trying to
Just
hold
rolled
on, and it's
obscenely high.
Mm-hmm.
you're like, if only we were playing a game where high numbers were good. Like,
Yeah, I had a
but-
20, a 17, and a 19.
nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's more than 1 complication actually. So I'll take
Oh,
both
is
those
it?
threat.
My bad.
It's cool. No, I'm loving it. Da 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 da.
no.
Yeah. So, as you start blasting wildly with your phaser, panicking, you fire so close to the lieutenant that the lieutenant's grip slips from you in this moment, and you get dragged closer as your feet are now only mere centimeters away from the grinding action of this creature. And it is
Okay.
the lieutenant's go if they would like to try to grab on again or change, just start
Ah,
blasting and figure out what they want to do.
I have an alternative idea, which is I would
Sure.
like to attempt I would like to use make a presence roll with my telepathy to
Mhm,
basically under the theory that it has feelings, that it can understand something, and just, basically be like, release her or more pain.
Sure, go for it.
So are you cool with presence command?
Sure.
And can I use my xenopsychology focus?
No, it does not apply.
Damn it. Okay. What would
Nice
the
try.
difficulty be? There you go.
I will make it. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to word this. I'm gonna go ahead and say 4. You are trying to scare a plant creature that is not that can feel things but does not actually have a brain. There's no
Fair.
intelligence for you to command here.
Okay.
So it is a very hard task.
I want to. How much momentum do we have?
3 right now.
I would like to steal 1 for a 3rd die and give this a shot.
Sure. Go for it.
Aw, yeah. 3 successes.
Nice.
Would you like to succeed at a cost because you needed 1 more success?
I think I would, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Is
Or can I spend Actually, question. Can I spend one of my values to get the other success?
What are your values that you think?
Feelings are a
exhausting what
universal
value?
language. Feelings are a universal language.
Sure, I will let you burn that value for this particular situation. I would have preferred the succeed at a cost, but I will let you burn your value.
I mean, if it's better for story to succeed at a cost, I'm fine with that too.
I would prefer, because I think it builds a better story to succeed at a cost.
Fine, then let's do that. I'll succeed at a cost.
Excellent. So your lieutenant stands forward and clearly focuses their psychic and betazoid empathic energies at this beast, and it lets you go, screaming out in what appears to be a lot of pain, because it seems that your lieutenant has emphasized and influenced the pain that it has already felt from these phaser blasts. And in response, it lets you go and shrivels back underground, moving deeper into the root system. Our science officer, who's been monitoring on the tricorder, can tell that it's retreated back further into its burrows at this point in time, and that this thing's root system, that these things, it's clearly not the same one that was by your ship, it's too far away, but these things kind of like span out for large hunting grounds, and this thing has gone back to whatever its core is, or at least closer to its core. In response to all the empathic energies that the lieutenant has put forth, like, first there's like a slight trickle of blood from her nose, and then like she just vomits and is clearly like shook from this touching this alien mind, or what may or may not be an alien mind, and is a little bit rattled, but has clearly pushed herself and her betazoid powers to get you to be released from this thing.
Can I?
And you, as she's looking down, your lieutenant also realized that her hair has been singed by phaser fire.
All right. I would immediately like to pull up my
okay,
scanner and make sure that there's nothing wrong with the lieutenant. Before I even answer that question, I'm pulling out my my medical tricorder just to do a quick thing. Yeah, thank you for getting me out of there. I really appreciate it, Lieutenant. Let me just check in on you real quick.
There does not seem to be anything medically wrong with your lieutenant. A lot of her vital signs are stressed. Like, there's clearly been some psychological, like, problematic issues. Like, she's, for lack of a better term, she's shook.
Okay.
It has not rattled her to her core, but she's definitely in a place that was the veneer and the clear, like, I am in control and command and composed has been lost for a few moments here, based upon the psychic interaction and empathic interaction that has just occurred between this plant creature and your lieutenant.
Okay.
That was an extremely impressive display, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Completely. I'm pretty sure you just saved my life. Thank you. That won't happen again. This new world is just like...
The mind of
Indeed,
that
let's
thing.
avoid stepping on any more of those plants.
Did it
Yeah.
appear to be sentient at all? Or did it just did it just feel like maybe a simple animal?
It looked like a mouth from the bird's eye view.
There's many plants that appear to have mouths.
I don't think it has sentience, but it could understand basic, again, pain and consequence, and
Most plants can.
it was networked. They seem to be, it was just overwhelming. I'll be fine. But yes, we should all be stepping lightly going forward, because
Might I suggest we get back moving post haste? We do not know if these things have a herding mentality or not. Last thing we want to do is have it round up a few uncles and cousins and nephews twice removed, and have them all coming at us at once.
Enough sentience to do like that. But it would be better to keep moving to ensure that unaware.
We also have to still check on the beta ship.
Let's get moving.
Who knows what other
Let's go.
things we might have gotten the attention of with all of that as well.
Yes.
All right.
Phaser fire is not subtle.
Oh, it is not. All right. So, I need that second scan
For me.
for security
Uh.
as we approach the beta shuttle.
Okay.
And then
What am
Ensign Jabez.
Being the
is-
engineer that my character is, it's been more than the 20 minutes that the Alpha team said that they were going to be contacting us in, right?
Not
At
yet.
this point? Not yet? Okay.
They'll-
We
I
made
mean,
better time
They'll
than we thought.
contact you.
Okay.
AKA, it'll be between when you guys are done with your encounter with the creature and before you reach the shuttle. I just want to have the second security roll out of the way so I know how to set the scene
Gotcha.
when you arrive.
Yeah. What am I adding together? Like
Insight security is the roll.
Insight security. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to roll well. Wish me luck.
I mean, you got 50-50 chance per die.
Okay, I rolled 1 success.
Okay.
And then I rolled a 12. So
Okay. Well, no complications, but one
no
success.
complications. I haven't rolled any complications. I've been rolling very, very middle of the road.
Hey, middle is not bad. You don't see anything out of ordinary when you arrive. I'll cover what. So you do get the lieutenant from Alpha Shuttle will radio in and check up on you guys shortly before you make it to the other shuttle site. Do you guys report anything? Do you let them know about the plant creatures and to utterly avoid them?
Yeah. Simora, I think.
What do you
will
guys
ask
let him know?
for I think Simora will ask for the con from the lieutenant to inform them.
I mean, you all have
about that.
comms. You
Oh,
all
yeah,
have
that's
comms.
true.
You just
Never
have to click in on them.
I'll use my own then and just basically inform them about the plant and how it looks and what to look out for. And to give it a steady, wide berth, as it does seem to be quite large. And, well, even if we aren't necessarily indigestible to it, it seems to have at least teeth, so might as well avoid it.
Okay. 5, you said that your eye can also function as a tricorder, right?
That is correct, yes.
So you will notice as well, same thing the lieutenant noticed earlier, that your range when you're using that function seems to be muted. It doesn't seem to reach out as far, and you can kind of deduce that your scanning is being limited based upon the atmosphere and how everything has been, how everything has evolved here and how it's evolved for lacks of bits of radiation might be dampening some of the ways you scan. So you could try to change the parameters in which you scan to give yourself improved visual sense in that particular way if you would like, as you are 5 of 12.
I would. That makes sense since he was able to do it on the ship.
So go ahead and give me a reason engineering roll real quick. The threshold is only 2 because earlier you found out how to filter out all that particular ionic radiation earlier and blew that roll out the water, so you already know the parameters you're looking for. So instead of it being a much higher difficulty roll to modify that, it's only a 2 difficulty.
Okay. That's with the... Yes. Oh.
Nice.
And boom. So, this is really important. You guys head into camp, and you start looking around. And 5, thanks to your modifications on your what used to be your tricordery eye, you're scanning the full area of the camp rather than just like half of the zone you would have been normally scanning based upon the size of these camps. You head into the area and you start looking around, and most of you notice that this is signs of an attack here. Like, this isn't signs of like wildlife. There is a clear sign that somebody firing here. You're pretty sure those are disruptor burns, and then 5 on your tricorder. Because you modified how your eyesight works, you very quickly realize that something has just happened, that as you guys crossed into camp, somebody tripped something, and you have enough time to warn everyone to get back as the beta shuttle explodes.
Just like holds everyone back.
It was very clearly designed to lure you in to the detonation, and you managed to stop everyone from being hurt because of the modifications you had. But it is 10:15, and this is the time that I like to take breaks. So we're gonna take our 15 minutes, finding out that the group can no longer transmit to the Topagawa off planet.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So,
Nice.
there goes that shuttle. Sucks to be them. They've got to.
everybody. We're back. When we left our cast, the former Borg just saved everyone from an explosion. And now, that happened. It does kind of scorch everyone. He 5 of 12 stops her from getting close, but it is... And explosion. It is a problem. A few moments like clearly it was seen from other locations because the other shuttle is only a few kilometers away, and you will immediately get a comm signal from Lieutenant Johnson asking if everybody's okay and what's going on, what happened, and we will break into that particular roleplay here in just a moment.
All right. Report. Is everyone okay? Has anybody been injured?
I'm perfectly alright, Lieutenant.
Okay.
Everything seems to look
I'm
right.
good.
Okay.
5, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I am glad that I was able to compensate with the Ion Storm through my eyepiece. Otherwise, I doubt that would have ended well.
All right. Well, right now I want you and Ensign Jabez to scan the area for hostile forces. We are obviously not alone. Ensign Latha, Ensign Simora, if you can search for survivors or perhaps where these survivors might have been dragged off. I'll inform the lieutenant what is happening, so at the very least they can be on their guard.
It might be good to
Aye,
first
Lieutenant.
scan for any other potential mines,
Yes.
just in case.
Yes,
I
Lieutenant.
will also add with the initial scan prior to shuttle's explosion, there did seem to be evidence of disruptor fire.
I noticed.
Out of character, is that Jem'Hadar? I forget.
Disruptor is
Romulan, Klingon, I think.
Romulan,
Okay.
Klingon, and a few others.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a few others. The Romulans and Klingons are the two most notable for being, you know.
Yeah. All right. Ensign, do you know, is it possible to, well, so first of all, is the, I guess out of character, are we able to get communications right now, or are they being dampened by the field? Like, is this field localized to this area?
No, it seems that now the third shuttle has been destroyed. It seems that we are not able to reach the Tokugawa. I can send my shuttle up to try to establish communications here shortly once we have something to report. But
Yes.
if you all would like to take the time to examine the scene a bit, that's much better than just one of the shuttles exploded. There might have been disruptor scorch marks.
Yeah, we have both the engineer and Ensign 5 are going to be scanning for whomever might have been responsible. The rest of us are looking for survivors and anything else we can find.
Sounds
Do
good.
Yeah.
Do the best you can. We'll be on high alert. Yeah, there's not much we can do until we have a report, because I don't want to just send a shuttle up with nothing to really say. See if you can find anybody that may have survived. We are.
All right. Kadar
We
out.
will look for survivors then. We will look for survivors then.
Yes.
Ensign Latha and I.
So yeah, I mean, basically, I'm going to, use the telepathic thing to try to aid them with their scans and stuff, because I figure
There
I
do not appear to be any
will-
more for you. With very quickly with your telepathic things, there do not seem to be any other people experiencing emotions or intelligent, scannable telepathy people outside of the 4 crew members that you are in proximity to right now.
Okay.
So, if you all would like to, who would like to give me some rolls for some scans? I hear we're looking for a mixture of survivors and/or what may have happened here.
Nope.
Yes.
So-
Actually, I was wondering if 5 would be able to. This might not be a thing, considering the explosion just happened. If there's any key energy signatures, from like
I was thinking the same thing.
around from the explosion, specifically, from civilizations that are known to use disruptors.
Like do a scan for see if we can catch any energy residues or something. From
Sure.
the
Go ahead and
fire
give
or
me.
something
Go
like
ahead
that,
and give me.
to try to identify.
Yeah, sure. If you two want to
I
give
was
me a
thinking the exact
science
same
scan
thing.
on that, and the other 2 want to give me a security scan, and you can pick whether you guys want to do them separately or if you want to do them as a group with assists. That's totally fine, and I will give you the results for both depending on. It is a for the security scan it is a 2. For the science scan it is a 3 difficulty.
Okay.
But you guys can decide whether you want to do them individually or if you want
Science
to do them. It's reason,
and
science,
what? I'm
and
sorry.
insight security.
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that one more time?
So reason and science at a difficulty 3 test to look for those particular energy signatures, and
I have
security insight for your for the other test to look for survivors and other things that have gone on here to recreate the
Okay.
scene.
So Fiverr,
Great
which do you have the better score in?
I already have
Let's
some
see.
figures up down
Got
what's going on.
10 in reason and 3 in science.
Okay, I've got 12 in reason, 3 in science. I've got 9 in insight, 2 in security.
Well, you wouldn't be making the security check. My 2 in blue are making our security check. I believe they said they want to do the
Okay.
security roll.
Oh, so we're both
You two
doing
are just-
we're both doing science and reason.
Yeah,
then.
you guys are both
Okay.
doing science, and you guys are figuring out whether you want to assist or make separate checks in both instances.
I'll assist with all
Why
of
don't
this
I
last
assist Malachi?
Okay.
Sounds good. So my first 2 assist rolls. Go ahead and give me that 1 die roll for those assist rolls. For those of you making your assist checks.
Ooh. I rolled a 20.
Excellent.
Every
Well,
time someone
Excellent.
tries to.
Question.
Yeah.
Cause I commanded. Can I extend my
You
talent?
did, but not on the assist
Yeah.
check.
That's
Not
fair.
on the assist check.
Valid.
I feel that is not the way to go. I'll take the threat rather than add a complication to the scene.
I don't
I
like
believe that
Alright.
puts me at 9 threat right now, so I'll keep that 9 threat going for when the time comes.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and give me the roll for what's the assist roll I got for 5? What did he roll for this assist? See it. You only roll 1 dice for the assist roll.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, it's cool, not a big deal.
Try that again.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
1. So add +1 die to your check there for your science check, and go ahead and give me that science roll.
So that'll
And
be
you
a
can get
test.
security
That'd be a
rolls.
3. That'd be a 3
You'll
on
have
that
3
then.
dice.
With
Yep.
and that'll be reason science. Since we're doing.
You
since
can
we're doing
spend
the scan.
momentum for a 4th die if you want.
We have 3
We'll hold off on the
momentum.
moment. We'll hold off on the momentum for now.
Okay, so roll 3 dice. You do need 3 successes. Boom! Look at that. All-star action. So you quickly realize.
Little help from the symbiont there.
Yep. You quickly realize that the explosion setup is a very it is kind of one of those dirty bomb setups, and I don't mean like nuclear weapons. I mean like somebody very quickly put together some phaser power packs, set them to overload against each other off what appeared to be a tripwire. This is a very easy, old-school guerrilla tactic that almost anybody could have used, as long as they have a good understanding of the technology. It was not somebody using, a specifically made explosive device from a specific culture. It was a quick and dirty explosive device that was set up next to parts of the shuttle that were going to go up, and it was used very efficiently and very effectively. This is anybody from guerrilla fighters in an occupied sector to an enemy intelligence service would know how to do this. So this is a really, really wide open group of people could have done this particular thing.
I'm afraid, Lieutenant,
does
it
not
could have been
narrow
just about
down your
anyone who
field,
set this up.
unfortunately.
Yeah, this could have
Not
been
just
done by
about
just
anybody. Anybody who has an
anybody who knows
understanding
anything
of
about
Starfleet,
phaser technology.
Yeah, anybody who
Anyone
has
who
an
knows
understanding
anything
of
about
Starfleet,
phaser mentality.
phaser technology, and guerrilla tactics. It's a combination of those two things. As for our security sweep, hit me.
All right.
See what we got going on. Would you like to spend a momentum or no?
I am going to spend a momentum since I didn't get...
All right. Assistance? All right,
So, yes.
Now the 2 momentum for the group.
Okay. Well, it looks like I did get 2 successes because on one die I rolled under my security. And then
Nice.
on the other 2, I did roll a 17 and an 18, though.
Then you're fine. You squeak by. 19 and 20 is the complication range for a 2 task, and then it goes up from there. It's 18 at 3, so on and so forth. But yes. So yes, with a 2, you can quickly. I don't know if it's necessarily quickly. You take the 2 if you take your time, kind of going over the security setup here and look at what you're dealing with, and it is very clear that whatever happened to this crew of this shuttlecraft, 1, their bodies are not here. They were not in the explosion. They were not, in the situation. 2, they were ambushed based upon how the layout is. People came in and circled them and ambushed them really quickly. You can tell once somebody, you can possibly deduce it was the Henson who got a signal off, ran not outwards from the camp, but into the area of the triangle, of the triangulated area that the shuttles had landed in. So he ran further into the triangle, and whatever happened there took you far enough away that you would have to leave eyesight of the group to follow the tracks further out in that area.
All right. I think I found some tracks. It might just be where the ensign went, but they might have been grabbed down here. Are there any other tracks coming from the site leading into another direction?
That's the awkward part. No. It appears that whoever encircled the camp before they got there didn't leave any real evidence or any major tracks prior to the engage in the scuffle, and prior to them, like, what appears to be the footprints leaving, like, chasing the ensign out from the camp. So you can kind of deduce the ensign got out of the jamming range before they made their call, their comms call.
Can I check myself to see if there is any of that alien plant biology that stuck to me, so I can scan it to see if it might be a organic transporter type plant like they have in the later in Discovery?
You totally can. It does not appear to be that. Yes. You have a hand up in the corner.
Yeah, hand. I raised my hand. I would like to check for signs that however this was done, could it have been that the team turned on itself? That somebody, like, does it seem like enough of the people who were ambushed would have made up the entirety of the team, or at least a majority of it, in such a way that would not suggest an ambush? Or does the evidence potentially point towards that part of the team turned on the rest of the team?
You can totally make a check for that.
What would that be?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with science, because science or medicine, depending on how you want to classify psychology, because that's a psychological analyzation of the situation, and insight or reason.
Insight, probably.
I'm gonna go science reason because that's my best.
Yes, understandable. You're gonna Vulcan logic your way through the situation.
Yeah, I'm going to look at this in logic, but I'm gonna forcefully logic my way through this evidence.
Can I help her because I have a xenopsychology focus?
You totally can.
I will use. Yeah. I will use insight.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So you will
give that assistance roll beforehand.
What? Do you want me to lead, or do you want to have me assist?
You would roll first to give assistance.
Okay, cool.
They would like the assistance. There you go. You are doing the best leading by example and helping your team. There you go. Plus 1 die.
Woo! I got 3!
Nicely.
Okay, so that is... Shiitake motherfucking mushrooms. Okay, that is 1 success and 2 19s.
Oh, that's what I love to hear. Excellent.
Evil.
Oh no.
Evil.
Like clearly there was a traitor in their midst. I will take one of those complications and turn it into threat, and the other one is you totally, because you did not get enough successes to figure out if there was or wasn't a traitor. So you firmly believe there's a traitor in their midst in this particular time for this particular complication. You're like, the foot patterns tell you this, and this person was standing here, but like somebody here betrayed somebody in this thing. There was a traitor in their midst in the situation. You believe that in your brain of brains, in your Vulcan logic center.
Don't fully
it's not your heart of
other
hearts.
People.
Yeah.
I believe
there's no heart of hearts. There's definitely your brain.
There's no heart of hearts. There's just whatever I truly think as a human Vulcan being, I guess.
As a Vulcan life form, you're like,
human,
logic clearly dictates.
Logic.
Clearly, there's logic truly dictates that these
was a traitor.
Yep.
These foot patterns do not suggest that somebody else came in. I believe I believe some of the team to have turned on the others. The rigging of the shuttle also suggests that whoever did this would have had to have the skill and knowledge to do so. And while thus far we have not encountered any fauna on this planet, though there most likely is fauna, it is highly unlikely that whatever lives here is capable of rigging a shuttle.
Nor of, respectfully, nor of disruptor fire. And those tend to not be standard issue on Starfleet shuttles. How big are they? Like, how big is a disruptor rifle?
It's the same size as a phaser rifle.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Yeah, they're not. Disruptor technology is equivalent to phaser technology. There's just not a stun setting on a lot of disruptors, because instead of them overloading your electrical system and shutting you down, they're designed to displace your molecules and rip you apart on a
But Starfleet does in fact have, but like security officers would in fact have access to disruptors if they had been planning. No?
Yes,
don't?
if a security officer had confiscated some, yeah, they would have access to it. But they are not standard issue for Starfleet. Starfleet does not use disruptive technology on the regular.
Correct. And it's also a thing where, we're going on an away mission, so, like, they wouldn't bring a weapon confiscated by, something else
Yeah,
previously.
you'd bring only regulation stuff.
Correct.
But if they had been planning on betraying their teammates,
then they would have had to smuggle them onto the shuttle somehow. Not impossible to do, but it would have taken some work and planning to do so.
Disruptors are not too large to
Yeah.
do so, however.
A hand disruptor now.
Yeah, but to what end, Ensign? Can I also try to insight science this? Because again, I got beta psychology. All of this has sounded pretty sus.
In a little bit, when there's new evidence,
Okay.
you do have a foot
Okay,
trail
sure.
to follow from
Alright.
from the ensign that probably made the distress call to you all.
Well, for right now.
Also, do you want to give
let's,
are you looking to give the other lieutenant an update now, or are you looking to follow the trail before you give them an update?
Let's give them an update now. That we found a trail. And we're going to be proceeding with caution. Because it is possible there are survivors.
All right, Lieutenant. I'm going to take 2 members of my team on the shuttle, and we're going to head up and give so try to establish communication with Gawa. We want to make sure that they're aware, especially if you haven't found any survivors at the site and you believe there might. Do you give the hypothesis there was a traitor in their midst, or no?
I don't think she would, because it at least from her perspective, there's not she can't really with what was presented and what is on the scene, it seems like a stretch, but basically just we're following leads, and not counting out any possibilities.
Sounds good. All right.
May I do something? I want to try to put some engineering focus in. I want to investigate some of the footprints. I want to try to figure out if they transported in as opposed to maybe coming in on some sort of hovercraft thing and jumped off. I want to take a look at the footprints to see if the density into the sand shows that they jumped off of something and landed on the ground when they got there, or if they just maybe teleported there, which would be the same imprint as if someone was just walking. And I want to use my physics focus for this.
Sure.
Because that would be general physics.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that's going to be engineering and insight, or would that be reason?
Insight. You're following up a hypothesis in this case.
And I want to use my physics focus for this.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be 2 rolls or 3? With adding the focus to it. I just click on where it says focus used. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, focus doesn't add rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
So in this case, nothing. They might have transported in, or they might have just been really good people who know the planet's terrain. It's hard for you to tell. You just know they started applying enough pressure to really leave imprints as they started their attack. So this could be a case of somebody who knew how to move on the terrain and just knew how to not leave tracks.
Yeah. Just trying to see how we could transport it or not. I was just trying to see if I could predict how they might come at us again, in case something, so we could be prepared in case of it, they counterattack us.
Yeah, legit.
It was worth a try.
No, super legit. All right. So, do we head out to the follow the trail that seems to have been run out? All right.
Yes.
Do we having people scan with security as we're doing that?
Yes, and also phasers at the ready.
Excellent. All right. So the trail goes for about 160 to 170 meters. At which point in time, you can see very clearly that another scuffle kind of took place. That you can see clear marks of energy weapon fire exchange, and that somebody hid down behind basically a rock formation. As this is happening, you see the shuttle from location Alpha take off and start heading toward the upper atmosphere. Before it crests the atmosphere, a very clearly ground to air disruptor cannon blast hits it, causing it to explode before it leaves the ionosphere. You are aware. You are well aware there are 2 more crew members that he left on the planet, still down by Shuttle Alpha's site. But again, it is a case of that is what is going on. Go ahead and give me a security scan at difficulty 1 after you get to that 170 meters in that area. Especially after you see the direction of where, because I assumed you turned to face the direction the blast came from when it destroyed the other shuttlecraft.
Who wants to
Which means your tricorder and your scanning
Yeah.
equipment is turned in that direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would be trying to scan and triangulate where the shot was where the cannon was
Not a
shooting
problem.
from.
Yeah, and I'd be on the comms.
You
to
are
get
muted,
other
by the way.
2.
If you're speaking, you are totally muted.
Yeah, I totally did roll
Okay.
for that. You said that was
Mm-hmm. It's just security insight, difficulty 1.
all right. 2 successes.
So you guys gain a momentum. So
Woo!
for the first time on your scans, you will pick up an artificial structure. You are picking up metals. You are not picking up the local flora and fauna, but you will be picking up an artificial structure. It is probably 200 or 300 more meters into the direction of where you were. And do you guys wish to approach, or do you guys wish to stay back?
Wow.
Well, first of all, getting on the comms to the last 2 people to be like, hey, start heading towards where our shuttlecraft is, because are we the last one?
You are.
Okay.
Ours would be the
so
last
defend
shuttle.
our shuttle.
So you send them to go defend. They go ahead and give me a presence command roll, because they are panicked and freaking out. And the first thing they hear from the next person who's now officially in charge of everybody's lives is, get to our shuttle. It's X coordinates. You need to make sure nothing happens, or we might not get off this planet type situation.
I suggest
can I get my
rendezvous with us?
Well, hang on. So first of all, number 1, can I get my composure roll on this? And number 2, we have 1 shuttle left. If there is anyone in this,
it is far more likely that whomever is. It is far more likely that whomever is picking off the other officers, for lack of a better term, is going to head to our shuttle next. If we send those other officers there, they are going to die.
Okay, we can rally there.
They were able to take out an entire team.
So number 1, we cannot get off this planet and rendezvous with anybody if we do not take out that cannon that took out that shuttle. So that has to happen. But we cannot leave our final shuttle undefended in any way. Because if that goes, then we cannot get off this planet. So
what makes you think that 2 ensigns are going to be able to defend against whomever has been able to?
Because this is all that we have. This is all that we have.
What is to suggest that those
Ensign, listen to me right now, okay? This is all that we have right now. We cannot. We have 2 objectives. We have to divide our forces, otherwise everything is lost. Are you understanding me?
Those people are likely to die.
I
They're more
just
likely to
have a
die
quick
than those
question for
people who are not.
clarification.
Sure,
You
what's
said it was back, the artificial structure was from back the way we came?
No, it was further into where the center of the triangulation is.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
where my confusion was. I just wanted to double check
I'm
that.
sorry if I was not clear. Yeah, I thought I was.
Yeah.
You probably
You
were.
guys,
And
Does disruptive
Ensign, if we
technology-
all...
I was gonna say, does disruptive technology generally imply that the people with it, the existence of disruptive technology generally imply the existence of shuttlecraft technology, or at least some ability to get into a planetary atmosphere?
yes and no. It's a weapons technology, so it could be developed outside of propulsion technology.
Then communication technology. Because
Yeah,
weapons
I mean-
technology and communication technology tend to be one hand in hand.
Correct. You could try to communicate with them.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
I believe we're
Your
presence commanded.
yes. So basically, Kadar just like looks at Simora and is like, "Your
They will
objection
die.
is noted, Ensign. This is my command. You are still a
will
Starfleet officer. Your objection is noted." So, yeah, presence and command.
Yep. You're gonna need 2 successes. Get them to calm down and head to the other shuttle to go
Okay.
protect it.
Yeah. I'm buying a 3rd dice with momentum.
All right, you guys are down to 1 momentum. Or no, sorry, 2 because
Sweet.
our security specialist got more successes than they needed last roll. So
3 successes.
3 successes. So we're back up to 3 momentum.
And
All
yeah,
right.
basically she's just like, you know,
They calm down. They
pull
acknowledge
yourse-
the chain
yeah,
of command,
pull yourselves together.
and they head toward the shuttle.
You,
Yeah, they acknowledge command and they head towards the shuttle.
all right. Let's take out that cannon so we can all get out of here alive.
So you head towards the artificial structure, then I assume. As you approach, you quickly realize it is from the direction the cannon came from, but this is clearly not where the cannon shot was fired. You are looking at what appears to be a really old spacefaring vessel of some sort that clearly crash landed here. It is really, really old. As you approach it, you can see that it's in a language that is not Starfleet common, for lack of a better term. And we have a linguistics specialist with us, so they might want to,
We do.
you know, totally try to translate something from
Just
that.
tell me
Yes,
it doesn't say
please.
Botany Bay.
It does not say Botany Bay, because the Botany Bay is not on this planet.
What do you want me to roll? Insight and command?
Insight. Well, I assume in... I mean,
Or
is linguistics
science?
under command or
Or
under
science?
science? I assumed it would be under science. Yeah. I assume
don't
linguistics would be
know.
a science.
I mean, both of them are at the same score, so it doesn't super matter.
So it's going to be science in this case.
Okay. And I assume my linguistics spec will work.
Totally works. It totally works.
Okay.
Your linguistic focus totally works.
What is the difficulty?
The difficulty is 1, because even though it is not in old, not in Starfleet Universal, it is a language, an old language.
I got
Oh, a straight
3
translation.
successes.
You got 3 successes. You will quickly realize that as you start, it does not say Botany Bay, but it is written in Swedish, Old Earth Swedish, and it is a cryo ship. As you kind of approach it, You can tell that it is opened, and as you get into it, as you guys start to explore it, because I assume you start to explore the ship, given that you're here. If not, let me know, because I'm going to move the narrative forward. You do find old stasis cryotubes, some of which have been clearly abandoned and broken. Desecrated corpses are inside. Yes, we have something in the corner.
My question is going to be, looking at the ship, can I potentially place how old it is?
Sure, go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay. What would that be?
I'll go ahead and make it reason science, because that is the most logical role for dating a ship, I would think.
Okay. Both fail.
Okay. It's old. It's old. As you're inside of it, you realize it doesn't have a warp drive. It's that old.
Okay.
There are definitely, cryotubes that have been broken with desiccated corpses in it. And then you kind of get to a section that looks like it had tubes in it, and those tubes have been removed. They're just gone. They looks like they've clearly been cut out of the ship. Yes.
Would I be able to look at the medical technology that is there for the cryo freezing of people to determine the approximate age of the vessel?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a roll.
I would be happy taking engineering or medical.
Engineering in this case.
What is
aspect that applies? You can reason for this, because you're again deducing this thing. There's not like you're not like playing a hunch. You're losing the logic of the situation.
Can I try? I mean, no, I can't really do anything.
Too late.
I was gonna say.
That was 6.
What was it? You broke up there.
Sorry, no successes?
No successes. All right. It's old. It's really old tech. It probably predates Starfleet.
I want to check the engine, the ship engines and all that to see what kind of power it has, so we can try to date it. I have a suspicion of how old
fission
the ship
cores.
is.
It's a sublight fission core engine, so it is old and does not have a warp drive or any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, would 5 be able to interface? I'm guessing it probably is long since lost its power, it probably wouldn't be able to interface with it.
There's no power to interface with.
Lieutenant, if I may.
So, yes.
This looks very similar to what I remember reading in Starfleet Academy history about after the eugenics wars on Earth. The type of ship that the frozen bodies of those, for example, Khan on the Botany Bay, for example, as in from Enterprise under the command of James T. Kirk. This could be a similar ship. These could be eugenically enhanced Earthlings that we are coming upon here.
That is my thought as well.
Okay.
And I gotta stop talking like that. Sometimes that symbiote's voice takes over and it just makes me talk funny. Sorry about that, Lieutenant. But I'm afraid this is the type of opponent we're going to be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us are capable of that.
Have we been able to find the cannon that shot our ships out of the sky?
No, it is clearly not. This structure is clearly not far enough. Like once you looked at the angle the shot came from and where you got this, this item is possibly on the way to whatever that is. You're also noticing that there were several of the cryonic so there's a difference between when like a cryonic chamber is opened and when something is removed. And the spaces you are seeing from where the cryotubes that should have been intact are, they're not open and something is missing. They have been physically cut out of the ship, and physically cut out of the area. So someone or something has removed some cryotubes from a cryo ship, from the eugenics, from a eugenics era, eugenics war era cryo ship that had crash landed on this planet.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, some people got out of their tubes fine, and then scavenged stuff from
None of the
Or
tubes
they were all
appear to be
physically
opened
cut out.
properly. They were
Okay.
all the tubes that are not broken have been physically cut out of the ship.
So someone
Okay.
else.
So it appears
someone
someone
or
else
something
has
else
removed
could
them out.
cut them out.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe
Yep, we have another.
maybe
we
my
have a hand
theory's
up in the
only
corner.
half right.
Yeah, I
maintain
just
my
wanted
traitor.
to know if I could potentially look at any tubes that look like they were broken open and have desiccated remains essentially left in them.
Mhm.
I would like to scan those remains so I can run a scan on exactly what the biology is.
Sure.
Yeah,
Not a problem.
if you can find out any sort of with the
What it is
age
a met.
of well, yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
also with the age, I imagine that there would be some sort of deterioration effect from being frozen and thawed for so long.
Oh, it's
so it is possible.
it's not it's like a skeleton is what you're looking at in the broken
Yeah,
tubes.
I was literally gonna like take a shadings
Well, no,
off
I'm
of the
talking
bone.
about whatever. Basically, what I'm asking is if you can find out if the ones that may be running about would have some sort of degenerative effect on them, because that can determine whether or not we engage them or we wait this out.
I'll do my best.
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a determination on this.
Sure.
Yeah, and I have talents in field medicine and medicine. I don't know if either of those would apply.
I'll let the field medicine one apply. It seems like it fits the rule of cool for that.
Cool. That's 2 successes.
Cool. So the first, you only needed one for basic information. For the second success, I'll give you some bonus information. They are human remains. They have been genetically modified, so they are genetically modified humans. Given the database information people have on the eugenics war left over from when Khan was around, they fit the bill of eugenics war humans age-wise. So these are genetically enhanced human beings to the peak of that from that era. The bones themselves have probably been here for about 120 plus years. So they were just adrift. Clearly something affected the ship that brought it here, because this is well outside of the range. It should have floated in sublight at that point in time. So it clearly encountered some sort of anomaly that brought it to this location before it crashed. There does not seem to be any sort of deteriorating diseases or effects. It's very much that constantly at the peak of human physical conditions that happens when from the eugenics war. It doesn't appear that the individuals that died probably died because their tubes cracked on impact and they did not properly come out of a cryogenic thaw. Doesn't matter how superhuman you are, if you don't properly get thawed, you die. There's no way around that. So you can guess that if the ship had power, which if you guys would like to try to power it up in some fashion or interface with it, you could find out how the power situation on the ship was taken care of, or try to scan or deal with residues. There are ways to figure that out. Looking at the deterioration of the core more, the engineer would know that they could possibly find it the last time the ship was powered up.
I would definitely initiate something along that line.
Okay.
Sure. You would know that. Go ahead. I have a hand up in the corner there. Go ahead and give me that engineering roll.
Cool.
Reason
I debating between two roles right now. I think I'm gonna go with the one that I'm a little bit more skilled with, and then suggest this one. So I would like to see what occurred to push to see if I can find any evidence on were in the ship to suggest what pushed it off course.
Sure.
Like, and then I was gonna say somebody might want to see how long it's been since the tubes were removed. Try to date that and see if it was more recently.
Yeah.
Or if it was further
I
along
think
ago.
that's what they're trying to do with powering it up and everything.
Okay, cool.
What kind of complication
wanted-
level do I need for that roll?
2.
Okay, thank you.
It's pretty big. You're checking for power residue signatures on a thing that you kind of know about now.
Okay, can I use my focus of
as-
power on my power systems focus for this?
Totally works for this. That's literally what it is for. Yep. As for the other role,
Ooh.
it is not within the information you currently have to know the exact anomaly that would have put this ship off course. There are so many anomalies that change space travel at a level like that Starfleet has encountered that it is impossible for you to know which one it could be. You could hypothesize that it's a list of they ran across a wormhole, they ran across, a subspace fissure. Like, because there have been so many Starfleet recorded things that have jumped jumped huge distances, for lack of a better term, it is impossible to know which one affected this ship based upon the crash landing, the other areas, the ionosphere, the lack of sensor data from the ship itself. It's just impossible to know. So it's one of those roles that no matter how many successes you get, you don't have enough information to deduce what brought it here.
Okay.
It's one of those particular situations. How we do on successes for that role?
The good news is I got 2 successes. The bad news is I also got a very bad failure.
You got a complication. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly know what I want to do here now. So you head over to the ship.
I should have used my technical expertise talent, which would let me re-roll a d20.
Well, I mean, you have it. Go ahead and re-roll it. I'm not
Okay,
going to stop you.
I'll go ahead and put that in.
I'm not going to crap on your. I'm not going to crap on your talent right now. If we had gone further with other roles, I would have been like too late.
Okay, let's change that to
3 successes.
an additional success instead.
Sweet. So you power
So
you managed to interface a bit with the technology, and you realize that the ship was successfully powered down with its core and the way it was set up only in the last 20 years. That this ship basically was powered down very, very recently. Probably sometime around 2370, 75, or 76, give or take. You will realize that the chrono on this ship is way off, which will let your science officer know that they probably came across some sort of temporal vortex that may have thrown it off course. But again,
you said that their bodies are only 100-something years old, but the genetic wars took place like turn of the century.
Yep.
No, turn of the millennium.
Correct. Turn of the millennium. Correct. So it is probable that it was some sort of temporal vortex that threw them off course after they went into cryostasis. But without more data and the ship to tell you what happened, you're not going to be able to probably guess more than a temporal vortex of some sort or some sort of temporal anomaly. But it was very recently powered down, like in the last basically the last 19 to 20 years.
Was it voluntary? Was the
powering
down
yeah.
voluntary?
Yes, somebody powered down the ship and shut down.
Someone intentionally powered it down in the last within the last 20 years.
Correct.
Okay.
I was here at range on the who were dead in the tubes. Can I tell approximately how old they were at time of death?
At time of death, it is hard to say. Just mainly because you don't have all the all the things of a medical bay here. But given like the growth of the bones, they were probably near the prime of their lives. So anywhere between their 20s
so 24,
and their 40s.
Yeah.
Between the 20s and the 40s.
All right. So my thought is the ones who are here, they've been if they were let out of the tubes before the tubes were removed, that means they've been out for probably about 20 years, which would put them anywhere between 40 and 60 years old. That can be incredibly dangerous for a bioengineered human.
How do you
I
mean?
think even
As far as the physical effects to them, or are they more dangerous at this level of maturity?
even at 60.
Trying to get a general age range, people who might be out of the tubes, just because I feel like between the ages of 20 and 40 is when they would be most dangerous. Based on ages.
You broke up a bit.
I said I just wanted to get a general age range. Human species is typically most dangerous between the ages.
Okay. So
they
I
would be
think what
slightly
you're saying.
after prime, possibly.
Yes. Okay.
Even
And
at 60 years
potentially,
old, it
yes.
would likely be, even at 60 years old, it would likely be stronger than most of this crew.
True.
Yes, I would very much agree.
Accurate.
Past their prime for a normal human may not be as much for an augment.
Keep in mind, past your
Also-
prime for a normal human by the start date is probably about 70 or 80. Like, the average
Yeah.
human lifespan is about 120 right now. So people in
Yeah.
their 60s are still kind of in that midlife, I'm still capable of doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's when
basically,
Picard was the
we-
height of his career.
Okay. So we don't want to engage in them in hand-to-hand under any circumstances, unless as a last resort, which makes quickly disabling that cannon our highest priority, so we can leave.
Yeah,
I would agree.
that sounds about the right of it, Lieutenant.
All right. Is there anything to be gained further from here?
I've
Why
run
not?
every test that I can think of.
Okay, well, let's go. The sooner we can get rid of that thing, the sooner we can head back and rendezvous with the others.
Something is bothering me as it stands. Why blow up the shuttle?
Yes.
Why blow up the shuttles?
To drop us
If
here?
I had to guess, they did not wish
Well,
for
why would
anyone
they
to
want to
know
stay
about their
here?
presence.
True, but why would they wish to stay here?
I have a theory.
Maybe they become xenophobic?
You
Or
Well-
they
think so?
simply are able
Limited-
to live and exist here without regulation or oversight with the things that they need.
No
I agree
propagation
with
of
that.
species,
I also
however.
think they might be getting into human trafficking because it's quite potentially they might just have not people to take care of the take
How are they
people
looking at
and
the planet?
convert them to their culture. The anatomy and change people's mental acuity to suit them, their needs. This might be the same situation.
Does the technology on this ship suggest, as it stands, that does the technology on the ship look like it's been stripped? First of all, do integral parts
No.
of the ship to leave? Okay.
The
Secondly,
only
any of the
things that
techno-
appear to be missing and salvaged are the pods, and none of them appear to have been properly done on cryo. The pods have just been removed from the ship, and it looks like they've very clearly been cut away from the ship. Not
So they would be
wheeled
stranded
out.
on this planet, which does not really fit the MO of augmented humans.
Correct.
Perhaps
Well,
I would
another
imagine there is
species
some
is.
other force who would find augmented humans either desirable for their own ends or for some other distant ends.
Exactly.
They would have no propagation
this-
of the species either.
This ship is not like this ship was of human origin, correct?
Correct. And it's
And
definitely
they're
not going
augmented
anywhere.
human. Yeah, but my point is that, like, my point is that in the same manner, like, disruptors probably wouldn't have been on this ship, right?
No.
Yeah. So
Disruptor
again,
technology would not have been part of this ship.
some third party, possibly mercenaries, possibly who knows what, has cut out these augmented humans for the purposes of, I don't know, maybe striking at Starfleet, maybe stranding us here, who knows, but...
Perhaps even just recruitment.
Potentially, they could also be looking to look into how the restructure of the genome was done so they can apply it to their own species.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Well, we're not going to be finding answers here, because the longer we stay here just debating, the stronger they are able to become in shoring their defenses and striking out at our camp.
Agreed, Lieutenant. What are the orders?
Forward towards where we think that shot came from. Because again, we can't do anything until we can get safely ensure we can get off the ground.
Sweet. All right.
And then, Paul, I want to relay to the ensigns of, you know, what they're looking out for as far as, you know, the type of, that it's augmented humans and blah, blah, blah. And advise maybe setting perimeter traps or something.
They get on setting some perimeter traps. They do the best they can do with what they've got. They also still seem to be alive and have reached your ship.
Yeah.
Because they moved at a very quick pace because they were... You told them, and they're like, we don't want to die type situation. So they are currently alive at your ship.
They are well-trained Starfleet officers, and I believe in them.
I do not believe in them against augmented humans. They're gonna die.
Sure.
Well, don't tell them that! Like...
I mean, you don't believe in them enough. I'm gonna be real clear. You don't believe in them enough to have given them names yet. So they're still expendable NPCs to me as the DM. I'm letting you know.
Oh man, Ted and Charles.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're definitely
Ensign Ted and Ensign Charles. All right.
Yes.
Those sound like very fillable names. I'm just saying.
That implies that they're humans as well. Regular humans against augmented humans. Those suckers gonna die if they get in a fight.
Oh my god.
Sure.
Have some faith.
No.
Well, we don't.
I mean, as long
We
as
do
they
not-
follow Starfleet regulations, they could be fine.
Might I
As long as they
interject?
don't talk-
We do not know that the augmented humans have been thawed. We just know that their pods have been taken. They may still be in cryogenic suspension. So we may just be dealing with whoever cut them out from here, which could be anybody.
It's true.
A single person in ambush is
Still entirely possible. It could actually
We are
be a rate.
moving forward.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sweet. All right. Go ahead and give me who's making the scan as we head forward. This will probably be one of the rougher checks for our game. This is definitely one of those.
Well,
ones
my
where,
insight is 11 and security is a 4, so I would probably have the best chance.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm letting you know this is going to be a difficulty 4 security scan coming up here. So you can augment that however you want with assistance and momentum, as you guys all see fit.
I'll try to provide assistance.
Because with assistance and momentum, you
It'll
get 5
work
dice.
one of these times.
You guys are at 3 momentum right now.
Would untapped potential apply if you use momentum?
Can I use my talent for for Latha to
You can
have
use the
a
talent on the roll, but not the assistance check.
Yeah.
So whoever is assisting can make their assistance check.
Yeah.
And then we'll go
Sweet.
from there. So roll that assistance check.
Is that you, Simora?
Hello. Yeah, I think
No,
Simora's
I'm
rolling
not.
her assistance check. Oh,
No.
you're not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so who's rolling?
You want me to roll it? I thought you were going to.
Well,
you
I
have the
was gonna
highest
roll the
possibility.
actual check.
Yeah,
I was gonna,
roll the actual
yeah,
check.
but
so
I was gonna wait for assistance before I rolled
Okay,
mine.
I
I'll
can-
roll assistant.
Hey, I got an idea.
Alright, you got-
Since we've been doing all of this stuff, either Five or I could assist because of all of the stuff that we've been doing to break through the ionosphere. Try to
Mhm.
put that stuff into
Yeah.
her
Sure.
scanner, into her tricorder.
Do it.
I will
So-
allow an assistance on that one for that. Sure, I will allow an assistance on that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll use my engineering to help with that then.
Sure. I will allow you to augment the tricorder to help with the assistance and use that as the assistance roll. That sounds
Okay.
I love creative solutions.
So single roll,
definitely
so
better.
complication level.
Mhm.
Will this be complication level 4?
Complication
as well,
level 1, it's a complication level 1 and it's a 1
And
die
task
roll.
roll.
As long as you roll under your thing, you can add 1 die to
Just
their
one.
roll.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure
What's
I did it
the
right the
basic
first time.
tribute being used?
Nice.
Oh, insight?
There you go.
All right. So you have 3 momentum, so you can use one, and you can use all 3 of that to add 2 more dice. So you'll have 5 dice to roll with this.
Oh,
Should
do
I
need to
spend
roll
all
assistant
3
for it too?
momentum for this check?
Your
Lieutenant,
call, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry?
should I use all 3 momentum to gain 2 more dice for this check?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, rolling 5.
Roll those
Would
5 beautiful
the-
dice.
Do you have untapped potential?
I do.
So would that be able to supplant? Would that be able to recharge momentum? Because that does suggest in its writing that it can recharge momentum.
Well, it also ups the
Oh
die,
yeah,
so
no,
you
I
can
haven't
spend 1
used
to get
any
5
of
back.
my untapped potential points that I've earned or whatever. I've made a lot of successes without ever checking anything for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, you should probably because that's the one that gives you the extra die if you've already done something, correct? Or is that a different
Yeah.
one? I don't know.
It says
No,
no.
yeah.
It says whenever a character succeeds at a task for which they bought 1 or more additional dice with either momentum or threat, they may roll 1d. The character receives bonus momentum equal to the roll and adds 1 point to threat if an effect is rolled.
Okay, just checking. Yeah. Then you.
Okay.
I will go ahead and let you get 1 back from this regardless. So you'll get 1 momentum back regardless because you didn't been catching it in the whole time. I will be a very kind
Yeah, okay,
DM.
cool.
Q is very kind in his telling
5
of the story
die.
of these brave Starfleet officers.
Looks
Hopefully
like
we are keeping him entertained.
only 3 successes.
Sure. Would you like to succeed at a cost?
Yeah, I think I would.
Excellent.
Keep in mind you can re-roll one of those too if you want to.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. You can.
Okay, I
Who's the
will
commander?
re-roll
Yeah.
one of them
Commander,
then.
reroll one of them. Reroll one of them. Go for it.
I command you to re-roll.
You get it?
Yeah, another success. That's a total of
All
4
right.
now.
So, excellent. So you very quickly, not quickly, but you guys head in the careful direction, and due to the changes to the tricorder by your engineer and 5 of 12, you will be able to scan at a further range. And scanning at a further range, your tricorder picks up something that wouldn't be super noticeable from orbit, but now that you guys are so close, it is. It is a holographic field. It is the same type of holographic projection setup that Starfleet uses to observe underdeveloped planets. So it is specifically
Duck blind.
designed to bypass. What's up?
A duck blind.
It is. It's specifically designed to fool sensor arrays so that you can't notice. But coupled with the ionosphere, there's no way the ship would have gotten it from orbit, and you wouldn't have known to scan for that at all from the shuttlecraft. But as you approach it, you quickly understand that's what you're doing, and the 5 of you can quickly huddle around and move to like the edge of this particular field and pass through the holographic field. As you do, you realize you're looking at your second artificial structure from this particular setup. And Simora quickly realizes, given her heritage, that this is not a Starfleet facility, even though they might have gotten their hands on a Starfleet holographic projector. This is very clearly Romulan architecture with Romulan with like Romulan angles. The facility you guys managed with your sensor sweep and moving quickly, realize very quickly that this is some sort of Romulan outpost based solely on the way it's built and what you're looking at, especially given all of the Romulan situation and fleeing after the supernova of the sun and the destruction of their homeworld. It did scatter them to the 4 winds. But you guys are now looking at what appears to be...
I mean, it's a
not
full
old at
structure,
all.
right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It is built
Damn.
into the side of basically a hill. And
Kudos to that
you got a mixture.
engineering.
What's up?
Kudos to that fast engineering.
Yeah, the facility probably isn't that old. You'd be surprised if it's more than 20 years old, in all honesty.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay.
Indeed. All right. Again, keep your eyes peeled. Do I sense any active minds outside of us?
Do you sense any active minds nearby, like within your line of sight? No, you do not.
Okay.
Can we hear anybody? Like, just talking?
Go ahead and give me insight security check if you're looking for people just talking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like... Yeah, let's just see if there's anyone talking that we can hear. What's the... What do you call it again on that?
The task? The threshold?
No, the complication.
Complication is going to be 1920.
Okay, I rolled a
basic
complication and I rolled a success.
Sweet. So not enough successes to know if you hear anybody.
Okay.
And I love
now they hear
complications
us.
at this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you peek up to see if
hi.
you hear anybody listening, and you quickly realize a moment too late that you are clearly within the purview of a camera and duck back down under cover.
Oh,
Like-
just me?
Just you. You were the only one peeking out to take a listen. I'm not going to punish the whole group for your complication. Like, it doesn't.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's better for the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some more. We have
All right.
understood, right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So they know that we're here now.
They know that I'm here.
we only have so much time. Our priority should be disabling that cannon. So and she looks at yeah.
If I can build
you
things,
are-
I can take them apart.
You
What'd
know
you say,
getting
Paul?
the engineer to the cannon's a great idea. You
Yeah.
also know possibly getting the layout of the structure is a great idea. Because right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
you're
I
just
was actually-
wandering around a building.
Some more.
I was actually going to see if I could make some type of security roll to get a layout of the structure, just so I can see, like, potentially find
Yeah.
places that can get us closer without exposing us, that type of thing.
You probably have to get access to a computer
5.
to do that.
Fives, if we can find a
can-
console for you to jack in and hijack those camera feeds, that would be incredible, because then their eyes become ours.
If I take off my Starfleet gear, there's a chance that I may be able to pass for one of them. This is a Romulan structure, after all. They may be Romulans. Romulans. And I do have nominal experience in lying.
if I may suggest, you may also need slight aesthetic alterations, namely the ridges.
So the
That's a
concern I
northerner
would
thing.
have, about that strategy, Ensign, is that this is also a population that seems like it's been here for a while, so they are probably very familiar with who has been here and who is a brand new face. Do you have a logical reason to be here other than the 2 Starfleet shuttlecraft that they just shot out?
I have been sent in from some other branch of the Romulans, maybe one of the more.
Okay, what did you fly in on, and why didn't it show up?
A cloaked vessel, perhaps?
I like.
We know that they
I like
have.
the idea,
We know that they have the
but
sensors.
I don't know if it'll work.
Do we know that they have the sensors?
Someone would like to give me another security check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another suggestion is that I could pretend to have betrayed my.
No successes.
Oh no, that's a better idea.
I could pretend to have betrayed my team and then be bringing bring 5 with me, suggesting that I am turning him in.
Okay,
But how would you have known they were there?
Well, that, and also, what is the plan for getting 5 out of there? What is the plan? Like, I appreciate what you're trying to do.
What is the plan for getting 5 in there in the first place? Do you have a suggestion other than this?
Well, right now I would like to have my officers find a map of this place so we can actually start working towards doing this. So if we can...
It's highly unlikely that maps are held anywhere but inside on a computer.
I might be able to assist in that regard.
Yes.
Ensign Latha, would you be able to point out the camera?
Would I be able to spot a camera without it spotting me?
If you would like to make a security check to do so, totally.
I know where the camera is.
All right.
I guess I can vaguely motion to where it is. But
oh yeah, you can totally motion to where it is. You totally solid see.
Okay, sorry, I got mixed up for who poked their head out.
Oh no, it was Simora. Only Simora's head was seen. That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would 5? So now that they know the camera's there and roughly can probably get like the field of view, would 5 be able to get like around the back of the camera, or is it like a 360 degree thing?
Go ahead, when you pop up to look for a camera, give me a security check.
This is going to suck. Okay. Security and what?
Insight and security.
Insight.
Can
someone
assist?
I mean, he's popping up.
Can I?
Look after he's been pointing out where the camera is. So he's actually exposing himself, which is the key to what's going on right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Roll.
You can do it, friend. We believe in you.
Nice.
Woo!
Sweet.
Nice.
You totally see 2 armed guards headed right for your position where Simora popped her head up, because you guys have been arguing about this for the past 7 minutes. They're like almost
forward.
It's like
you got it. It's kind of like they know where you are and sent people to deal with it. As a side note, when you say this, it's very disconcerting to your lieutenant, who does not sense anyone coming. They are dressed in all black, body armored, black face masks. Like, they do not have exposed skin of any sort. And given the fact that you know your lieutenant's a Betazoid, they probably have some sort of psi-blocking technology in their helmets.
Or
you're exposed. We need to move.
Real good shields.
Yes.
Okay, let's move.
Is
Move
there,
now.
Yeah. Is there a good fallback location?
It is really a press forward or leave the area situation. Like it's kind of one of those situations where either it's time to go in phasers blazing, or it's time to retreat. Those are kind of your two options in this situation.
Okay, so we're probably at phasers blazing.
Yeah. Sometimes
That's
you
what I
only
like
have
to
one
hear.
choice.
Start blasting.
Oh, we're gonna die. You guys
It's
could
just
also
too
move
tall
forward and hide. They've only seen Simora thus far.
This is true. You could abandon Simora to be captured. That is a legitimate
Simora
strategy.
will fully take off the Starfleet if need be right now.
Put your clothes back on. We're fighting.
We don't have time.
You haven't understood.
We don't have time.
You have wasted enough of our time. You're getting reprimanded when we're back on this ship. I'm done. We're going.
And we started blasting. So we're looking at real combat now. Not a big scripted combat situation. Check, and more check. Excellent.
Okay.
I forgot how initiative works in this particular version of the game.
I believe we decide, and then we can spend momentum to keep it or not, or something like that.
Oh, okay, so it uses the Dune one and not the rolled initiative system. Check, not a problem.
Believe that's how it works, but I don't
double check. I mean, you have the book right there in front of you. I have the quick start guide, so I can look the quick start guide real quick.
You're right. All right, let me see. Combat 169.
So we're about to get into our first real combat, as opposed to a dramatic plant eating people.
Okay, at the start of conflict, the game master determines a single character to take the first turn. This is normally a player character, unless there's a story reason for a non-player character to go first.
Yep.
Order of play goes back and forth from player characters to non-player characters.
It's the Dune system. I couldn't remember it was the Dune system or the Fallout one. It's totally fine.
The next turn begins with the first turn going to the side that did not act last.
Yeah, 5 of 12, by the way, is going first. Because 5 of 12 turned around the corner and was like, we've been made, and is now the most aware of whatever is happening.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, the former Borg is about to fight some Romulans. That's nothing bad could possibly happen here.
Completely unrelated.
Okay, are we going in phasers blasting?
Well, out of character at this point, Paul, is there any existing treaties with the Romulans that we need to be aware of that, like,
the Romulans are in power, right? So they have no treaties because they're no longer a power.
It's awkward, is what it really is.
Yeah. Because I remember they helped Starfleet during the Dominion War, but I don't remember.
Recently their homeworld was destroyed, and Starfleet 10 years ago tried to do Refugee Act. So there isn't a giant centralized Romulan power base, and Starfleet helped relocate several of them. The only thing that there's a really big treaty about right now is the Cube, which the Romulans have control of the Borg Cube. When it comes to the Romulan Empire as a whole, the Starfleet... So there's animosity because the Starfleet promised to help the Romulans and then backed out after Mars because they didn't have the manpower and the ships to help relocate the Romulans. So there's a lot of hostility towards the Romulan general populace towards Starfleet. There is not a non-aggression pact, but there isn't open hostility between the two, what's left of the two powers. And it is known that the Tal Shiar still exist as arguably the closest thing to a governing body in the Romulans. And the way they're kind of eking their way back into power is by selling off the technology they're making from dismantling their Borg cube. They do have military might. They do have some military might, but it's an awkward situation right now. This could turn into a political clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Well, are they armed with disruptor rifles?
Yeah, they're Romulans. Of course, they're armed with disruptor rifles.
Okay,
That's their standard
cool.
issue weapon.
Well, so
Okay.
basically, what I'm asking is, to logically establish that we were fired upon.
That's what I'm thinking, that he won't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not going to fire right away. He has his phaser out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He is going
If
to.
I may try something,
Sure.
I want to try something Trill here. I am the
Sure.
fourth host of Jabez.
Mhm. Mhm.
One of my hosts, historically, was a Starfleet diplomat.
Sure.
She probably knows how to speak Romulan.
Sure.
So I'm going to shout out in Romulan for them to stand down in the most authoritative voice I can muster.
I mean, I would also like to do that.
I know how to speak Romulan too. I am in fact Romulan.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
also
half Romulan, half
Hey,
Vulcan.
that's
yeah.
fine. If you guys want to do it, that's my idea.
Yeah, because I also have
Okay.
the insight command and linguistics and cultural studies and literally the daughter of a diplomat.
I would say
Okay.
I don't have that, but I have presence command, and I actually do have a focus that is persuasion. Don't ask
Go
me
for
about that.
Okay.
So,
So
you want to
in
do
that
it?
case, if
Or...
everyone
just
else
sitting there like,
is-
are we doing this?
I mean,
So, yeah,
I
I
would
will say
like
if-
to
if-
as the lieutenant in command.
Yeah, so
if that's okay.
if everyone is convinced that
Yeah.
they're going to try and communicate in Romulan,
I-
5,
So,
considering
Someone
that
doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, what's up?
what I will state
Mhm.
is you can use a roll to establish non-combat in this situation.
Yes.
Okay.
You will
Okay.
not be
Okay.
able to take command of these Romulans, no matter how
Yeah,
hard you
no.
try.
But
we
you,
can.
That's fine.
but that's the communication role, from what I understand of the.
No. What I'm talking
Yeah.
about is you. People are you want them to stand down. You will not stop
Yeah.
them from. You can enter into non-violent negotiations.
Yeah, we
You will not.
want
They
to
will
be
not
that's what we're
abandon
going
their
for.
weapons.
We just
Yeah.
want
Yes.
we want to establish that we don't want to fight if we don't have to.
correct. We're trying
Okay.
to do the Star
Samora
Trek
hasn't wanted
thing
to
here.
fight this entire time. Samora's really not wanted to fight the other Romulan.
Sure.
Not
Sounds
on the top
good.
of their list.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
You want me to assist?
Yeah, that would be great. And what would the difficulty be, Paul?
I guess my question is my follow-up question to the players. This would be a not entering violence outcome. Is the possibility of being taken prisoner something the players are acceptable to be okay with?
It's acceptable
Or
to
people not
Samora.
wanting to be taken prisoner? That is super important to the difficulty setting of this situation.
I think
This
just
is part of the reason
yeah.
Samora was like,
because of
run, because
Latha's
Samora's-
history.
Mhm.
I think because of Latha's history, if they try to take everyone, Latha's gonna get away from the group and
Yeah.
but if it's peaceful, then they will go along.
Sure,
Just
it can-
like their
It can be
mentality.
peaceful.
They
I'm pointing out that
grew
we're
up-
about to enter into a situation
yeah.
where I would set the difficulty if it starts into the situation of you're going to come with us then, and if that's just going to trigger another combat, I would rather just move on to this is the thing,
Okay.
rather than setting a high difficulty that leads to you being taken somewhere.
I
Okay.
will say part of the reason I said run is because Samora doesn't mind being taken capture, first of all, partially because they have done infiltration before. They've pretended to be something they're not. That's why they have some of those abilities.
But if
And
the
they're
if the
Romulans,
possibility
and
of
they feel like-
capture is
Yeah.
acceptable to the player base, then the difficulty to engage and start negotiation is 2. If it is not, and it turns into then the difficulty is 4. So that is for the player. I will leave that in the player's hands to decide.
I believe it sounds like we don't want to get captured. So, and then, if I'm understanding correctly from what Latha said, Jabez 5, are you guys cool with capture possibility, yay or nay?
Jabez will defend what he can, but he also feels the responsibility of protecting the symbiote inside him at all costs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say for 5. Individually, he would be apprehensive about getting captured by the Romulans, specifically because they've made a big deal of holding on to a board cube. However, he also recognizes the importance of the collective. So if everyone would prefer to enter into these peaceful negotiations, he will back them up.
As a side note for 5, if he keeps up with what the Romulans are doing on the Borg cube, they are unassimilating the former Borg that are on that cube. Like, they are taking people out of what used to be Borg situations, having their bionic implants taken out, and reintegrating them into society.
Okay, so completely deborging them.
Yes, completely deborging them.
Okay, because some of those implants are like pretty integral. Okay.
They're deborging them outside.
That does not help the situation.
Yeah, but they're deborging them outside of killing them. But yeah.
Okay, so I think it sounds like we want to go with that 4 difficulty because we don't want to be captured. Like, or at least that's the group consensus.
And also, a good idea to track is what is the maximum amount of successes you can get as it stands without taking a momentum, just in case.
The max amount of successes is if you get 2 crits, which would be 4. So
do you not have an ability for that? Like, focus.
Right now you guys have 1 momentum.
I have focuses that foci give you increase your crit range. Like, are you talking about talents?
No, they don't.
Like,
It means that if you succeed, it like automatically gives you the crit. So if you have the focus for this.
If you roll
you don't have to roll
under...
Yeah.
If
you succeed, it automatically crit.
My understanding of the system is the way Jen has been explaining it. That's how it's been played in every other version of the system.
Correct. That is how it works. So
focus is increased crit range. Yes.
Yes. So can Simora roll assist first?
Yeah. Does having the focus help with that? Or no?
Yes, because it increases your crit range.
Okay.
Increases your crit range, yes.
So basically, you see your discipline score. If you roll under the discipline score that you're rolling, and you have the focus, like normally you can only crit on a 1. If you roll under your discipline score, then you can get a crit under, whatever that discipline score is. So if your discipline score is 4, if your discipline score is 4, then, 1 to 4 will be a crit.
Yes. It's not just a success, it's a crit if it's a 1, if
Correct.
you roll 4 or lower.
Yes.
No, I'm saying that I rolled a success.
Oh,
awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Excellent.
So that's 1 success already. And then you want me to roll Insight Command? Or
That's a die to your pool. It's not an extra. It's not an extra.
Oh,
set,
really?
It's an extra die to your pool. Yes.
Because in the Star Trek Adventures game that we play on stream when assist happened, it's a success.
Oh, okay. Well, then people should have
According to the rules.
successes. I've been using it to add die rolls increases all night.
According to the
That's on me.
Adding other die. Okay. All right. So, do you want me to keep doing the extra die then?
Sure.
Okay. How much momentum do we have?
1 right now.
All right. I will spend it to get a 3rd die. So then I am rolling 4 total. And
would you like to give me some more threat for another die? Would you like to?
guess I'll give you one more.
Will be 2 more if I have 1 more die.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, that's so many.
5 die for
We
you.
are really-
Ah!
Oh,
5
That's a
successes.
success.
5!
So
Oh,
you get a momentum. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what exactly are you trying to get? Are you trying to get them? So you did not want to get captured. So you're trying to get them
Yes.
to let you go, enter into a level of negotiation outside of the
basically,
situation. Okay.
I want us to all safely leave this planet at this point. Because I feel like that's where we're at, is we want to safely leave the planet and, with our people and, yeah.
Okay. So what will happen is the 2 guards will stand there for a moment as you guys start exchanging in Romulan. Everybody who speaks Romulan or understands Romulan realizes there's a bit of a fairly tense standoff. After a few moments, what is clearly somebody who is in charge but not wearing any rank insignia comes out and comes down. Basically kind of comes down like the rampway into the base situation and basically begins speaking to you in Universal Common, and is like, Starfleet has engaged in hostile activity on this planet. There's kind of this weird back and forth of a Romulan narrative of what happened. They will basically contact their ship. Their ship will meet your ship. They will exchange the prisoners, and Starfleet will leave the area. And basically, no one else needs to get hurt type situation. It's very much and by the way, they say exchange the prisoners. They're not making reference to you. So you get the implication that the people that were ambushed were taken alive and not dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So what basically happens is you're kind of kept at the area of, I'm basically going to go into wrap-up mode after this then, because this is a very interesting ending that I did not plan for. I assumed you guys were going to start blasting, because there's so many just awful things
But that's
on the
not
table
Star
right
Trek,
now.
is it?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it
so
is
that's
sometimes.
Not Star Trek. And it's
I just
also
don't like
Star
fighting
Trek.
people.
One of my
very much
values
sometimes
is
Star Trek.
diplomacy is the best policy.
It is. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
That's only sometimes not Star Trek. Kirk blasted people on the regular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cisco,
Yeah.
Depends on which
Cisco
edition
blasted
of Star
people.
Trek.
Yeah,
Cisco
we've had
Yeah,
this
but
conversation
Cisco
before the
blasted
stream.
him as a last resort.
But
Yeah,
you know,
but
this
he
is
doesn't
also
blast it.
Cisco is very ready to fight people. Out of
Yes.
this is
all of
also
But-
what
and-
happens when you have a Betazoid in command who can feel everybody's
Sure.
pain and agony as they're dying horribly.
That makes sense.
Legit. It cuts down on the blasting. You will note that whenever this commander shows up, that they also clearly have psychic, like anti-psychic resistance training as well. And
Makes sense.
you can put together that you're probably dealing with given the lack of rank insignia, given the secrecy of this location,
Tal Shiar.
you're probably dealing with a Tal
Tal
Shiar
Shiar.
base, which is its own problem.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is basically you guys are escorted outside and back to your shuttle. About probably 2 or 3 hours later, a warbird shows up in orbit. It basically stays in a synchronous orbit above the planet. The Tokugawa comes back in a few hours, and basically everyone is later. The guards show up with the other crew from the other shuttlecraft. You're all 12 of you are kind of cramped into the back of your shuttle, and you take off, and you clear the ionosphere, and you're not fired upon, and you get back on the Tokugawa, and you can file some reports. But it is definitely a political incident that has occurred. And now if we ever have a follow-up one-shot, I have a whole extra plot. There were things that were not uncovered.
Section
Oh, yeah.
31 versus Tal
Follow-up
Shiar.
later.
Yeah.
What's up?
I mean, honestly, I
think-
just want to get back into my med bay, run more analysis on all of these plant samples, see
Yeah, you got
what
plants and
any
stuff.
medicinal
You
value.
have
only
discovered
have
a
And-
plant species.
Plant.
All of the
We have
scans
samples
that I
of-
did at the ionosphere, we can see if there's any kind of intelligence data that we can extract from that as well.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
true.
you can put together they're probably on the planet because it's a great barrier and it's halfway a prison, halfway you can't discover us here.
I'm wondering what's going. Like, did they give back the augmented humans or
No,
No.
they only gave back the Starfleet crew members.
Simora is definitely putting notes about the augmented humans in their report.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Well,
Uh,
Malachi
Qianna
will as
as-
well, if anything, about the technical aspects of finding the transport ship there.
So, as a side note, you guys wrap up everything that's going on, and in a few days, you do get everyone who was on planet, every single ensign and lieutenant that was on planet, basically gets a gag order from Starfleet security about what happened on that planet. It is not to be spoken about. It is not to be talked about.
That's
For lack of any better term, a gag order from the head of Starfleet security, what is it?
I've had those before.
Commandant O sends
Yeah.
down a gag order at the time because O is currently the head of Starfleet security. Yeah, O sends down a gag order. Yeah.
Oh, that's why you. Oh, I'm in a terrible position.
Yeah, I asked all the questions to you on the DL.
Yeah, I know you
Mhm.
asked me that. I'm noting I specifically am in a terrible position, but cool.
Yep. hmm O gives a gag order that's not to be talked about. It's, to keep everything under wraps. Everything is good. And basically, it gets kind of buried at this point in time. And we had a very interesting political end to our game that I was not planning
Yep.
on. hmm
oh man.
So I guess I will let Jen do her outro to start, and we'll go around, because I am happy about that ending in a weird way, because now I want a follow-up game.
Yay!
What's the worst that can happen?
Right? Yeah, so hi, I'm Jen. I played Lieutenant Qianna Kadar, the Betazoid translator, who was in command of what was supposed to just be a simple science mission. Who knows? I go by Savagesparrow on the internet. Savagesparrow.com is my super amazing website for nerdy apparel and accessories. I play Star Trek Adventures on the Rook and Rasp channel on Mondays. Although my final episode has already occurred, there are still a couple awesome episodes in that season, though. So if you enjoyed watching this game, Rook and Rasp, they play it regularly. Otherwise, every Tuesday, at least until next week, Paul is GMing our fantastic Shadowrun game that I also play in, as well as I play Pathfinder every Sunday on our sister channel, Weave the Tale. So please check those out.
Penny.
Or sorry, Penny for a Tale. So please check those out as well. Thank you.
All right. KyHawkeye.
All right, I'm KyHawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye. You can find me under that name under most social media, except I don't do fake books, so you won't find me hiding there. Otherwise, here on Twitch, on my channel, Monday nights is Family Night at the Emporium. My channel is Hawkeye's Old Type Gaming Emporium. Monday night is family night with my daughter and I. We're currently getting ready to start the Room 2 as doing that game together. Tuesday nights is Grappler's Keep, my WWE 2K20 universe, where a number of DMs, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe compete in a wrestling ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. Because I was on here tonight, our next episode of Grappler's Keep will be tomorrow night, and then Saturday will be upcoming our next pay-per-view event for Grappler's Keep. It is, we call it Melee Madness. It's our version of the WWE Royal Rumble. We'll have a men's rumble, we'll have a women's rumble, and the winners of those matches will get shots at the men's and women's title at our Dice Mania, our version of WrestleMania, which will be coming up in about 12 weeks. And then Wednesday nights normally is my Wednesday weekly Skyrim serial where I'm doing a story, The Random Legacy of Zarzur Tenteroth. He's a snow elf or ancient farmer, and I call it the Random Legacy because all of his interactions with NPCs are decided by a roll of this 12-sided die here. We're wrapping up the Dark Brotherhood and getting ready to see where Zarzur goes next. And then Saturdays, I am on the Wandering Society at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where we're doing Scion, where we all play the sons and daughters of gods from all the different pantheons on Earth. I currently play the son of one of the Celtic deities by the name of Finbar O'Dubda. And then every 6th Saturday is when we have our Grappler's Keep pay-per-view events. Otherwise, I'm Cancer Cleric by day, RPG Fanboy by night. You'll find me lurking in different places all over on Twitch.
There you go. Next, we got Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. I occasionally appear in these things, not only on Weave the Tale, Penny for a Tale. I'm also on the Lost Caravan quite a lot. In fact, next week on, I believe, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to be in a Pathfinder one-shot and a 5th edition one-shot over on Lost Caravan. Otherwise, I am on Twitter with the address above, where I usually talk about fantasy, nature, and a medieval/fantasy food book I'm writing.
Nice. All right. Singal.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Crim _Galaxy _RPG on both. That's KR me without a little bit of sin. On top of that, I am going to be playing tomorrow in a one-shot on the Lost Caravan, the CBR plus PNK, and I'm going to be playing Eyes, and they are a sniper. Saturday night, I'm going to be over on the initiative order, reprising my role in the 3rd episode of 4 of the Deep Breath experience that is going on that channel on Saturdays right now. And I think that's all I have. There are a couple more games that I have picked up, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about them yet.
All right. Fair enough. And last but not least, we have our bard.
Hello, I'm Theta, aka OneshittyBard. You can find me on Twitter at OneshittyBard. I play Ttrpgs and talk a lot about physics and astrobiology in general. You can also find me normally at this time on Tuesdays over at the Wandering Society playing tomorrow in Revelation 3, where I play a very, very, very tired bioengineer. And wherever else I'm doing charity one-shots in the next month or so. And I was playing ENS Simora, the Romulan Vulcan astrobiologist.
All right. And I've been your Q, telling you the story in the continuum. Paul Merchant 6 on Twitter, and you can find me since the 0GP most other places. And it's always been a blast. Great cast, and love everything about it. And I'll be back on Weave on Friday for Blue Rose, where we're going to stab the patriarchy, probably. Or at least I'm going to stab a lot of the patriarchy. Yeah. We're playing up against a white theocracy, from my understanding, so almost stab the patriarchy. That's the thing that's going to happen.
Quite literally, the patriarchy as the structure,
See,
like a legal structure.
When we played Blue Rose, it was amazing because we fought, we became pirates and stopped a crazy cult, and I was a ferret, and it was amazing.
Nope, not even touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I'm totally jealous. I'm totally jealous that you get
but that's,
to fight.
I think we actually have to wait for five. So Ian, so that Ian can,
also,
get us out rather than talk about ferrets.
Kirk has been recast. Nobody needs to know this. Actually, I guess you do if you're watching.